really cool.
Baby, they call me the most, and I won't stop trying, so I create disturbance in your mind. Gonna create disturbance in your mind, gonna create disturbance in your mind, gonna create disturbance. It's the real man of steel that's here to reveal the new deal that's about to congeal, because the big wheel is starting to squeal. It's the magic chic with the sleek physique and the silver streak from what we call Battle Creek Peak on the planet Bleak. You see, the whole planet has started to squeak, so the Sheik is here to fix the squeak because he has the unique way to speak, not because he rhymes every time, because the Sheik speaks with logic. See, the logic of the thing is that matter is the key to the universe. What I've done is create what I call the ladder of matter. The more matter that I scatter, the more the ladder gets fatter and fatter, and they all think that I'm madder than the Mad Hatter, but it doesn't really matter just as long as I scatter more matter.
The mountain started years ago when Tim had an idea that composting would really help out. And so he put together an idea. He went to the cemetery, said, look, can I use your piece of property to build a compost pile? They said, sure, we'll even help out and donate. So they brought in their lawn clippings and their tree trimmings. The neighborhood brings in the tree trimmings, their lawn clippings, and built this pile. I bring in the chips. I'm in the tree service. I bring my chips in. I bring them here, dump them. He spreads them around through the garden. He puts them in the mulch pile, mixes in silt from the dam, and he's got the perfect mix. He built this mountain by hand. He just got this tractor he's got just a couple of years ago. And he's been doing it all with pitchforks. The man is a monster. He's Superman. He's got God on his side. He's got Jesus right in his heart, and he's built a mountain. Then after this, the fire department came down on this guy and goes, look, man, the thing's on fire. He came back and completely buried this mountain with silt to put the fire out and contain it. The fire department said, hey, any man who can build a mountain and then bury it again in front of our faces in a matter of a week, you got to back off. They let it go. Then the health department picks it up and comes in here going, look, this is a health hazard. You got to get it out of here. Where in the world did they get the idea that compost is a health hazard? Because it's not. Compost grows food. Now, what is the matter with these people? Why are they hassling us? Look at the garden it's produced. Look at the food that this garden has done. It's incredible. You know, what's the matter with these people? Have they lost their minds? Is this whole planet going crazy or what? I don't know.
We'll make a film about a man that's sad and lonely and begging down upon his bended knee. I'll play the part and I won't need rehearse, 'cause all I gotta do is act naturally. Dun 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 dun. Dundun's come to have some fun. I'm here to take you all to Kingdom Come. Dun 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 is the one. The fun's not done unless it's double done. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. All right. Is this number 2 or is this number 2? Look at the biscuits and apples down there, boys. And he's building a stairway of doo-doo. Dun dun dun, doo-doo-doo. Ooh, power, steam, smoke, fire. Ooh.
What is this pile, anyway, for people that don't know?
It's the real true stairway to heaven. Dun, 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 dun. No, I call it the ladder of matter. You see, the more of this matter that I scatter, the more the ladder gets fatter and fatter, and they think I'm madder than the Mad Hatter, but it doesn't really matter just as long as I scatter more matter. Earth is getting wobbly because it's leaning too far to one side. Right? When you pump the oil out of it, it's like it throws it out of balance because the energy goes into the air. Hole in ozone starts everything getting shaky, wobbly all over, except here. See, it's like the idea is to make people realize this thing gets richer and richer every day that goes by. It's like the thing is breaking down more and more. There's no limit to how much you can break down. I pilot here and I pilot there and I pilot everywhere, and it's like by shaping it up into the right shape and covering it with the right kinds of things, like I say, it becomes like an actual work of art.
What are you doing now?
Checking for fire. See, there's nobody. See how just a little bit of like steam is coming out?
Yeah.
When you find a fire hole, it'll blow your mind.
And when you see that smoke piling out of there.
Oh, man.
Oof.
So it's like I told her if she continued to smolder that I would mold her into a boulder that gets golder and golder as she gets older. So we rocked her and rolled her and stomped her and strolled her, and that was the way that we done controlled her. Ooh. Burn. If we realize that we have an inexhaustible, endless supply of energy that we can tap into right here, that's free, that they're even saying, well, what are we going to do with all this shit? See? It's called, do you feel like a chump when you drive up to the pump and have them stick it in your rump while the thing that can pull us out of the slump is still being hauled to the dump?
That's right. And this is the royal soil.
Hey, the thing that will replace oil and end the turmoil.
That's right.
It's the answer to everything.
Crap man!
Dun, 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 dun. It's the double cross. Ooh, look at that, it's perfect. A double cross. Ooh. On dung pile next to Aldovina home. Dun, 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 dun. How's that for beauty there? Look at the size of the flowers. And the color. He's a madman. He's dangerous. He's going to make the world so beautiful and everybody will go insane with laughter. I mean, don't you think it's time that the dust was discussed? I mean, like, doesn't that remind you of the robust bust? See, like, this is number one, but there's several, I think there's three more good-sized ones coming already off that vine. And it's like this one must weigh, 40 pounds or so, 35 anyway. We must adjust. I feel, beat it. See the little whiskers, isn't he cute?
God, how big would you say that was?
This one's a little over a pound, but heck, I got one back there that's probably that big.
Whoa. Wow.
Well, sure, it's like they have to. It's like, if you got this life, it's like blowing it up like a balloon. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, me and my mom. Dun, 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 dun. Well, here's mother chicken trying to sit on her nest. It's like somebody's disturbed it a little bit. The eggs have gotten scattered around.
So why do you have chickens running around here?
Well, the chicken's enriching everything, and it's like with every chicken kicking, you can see how the plot really starts to thicken. It's like they're like little workers. Like they move everything and scratch it all and mix it together. It's like it's the ultimate mixing and grinding machine. It's like the soil that comes out of this place is like, it's second to none. But that's why, just to make it kind of paradoxical, we called it number 2. Because you remember when you were young and your mommy asked you if you had to go potty number 1 or potty number 2, like this is solid waste, see? So by calling it number 2, and it's gotten to the point where it's actually grown into a new point of view. This stuff is probably some of the finest dirt that's ever come onto the face of the planet. It's like all the waste comes together and makes this wonderful stuff here that just really, any kind of plant that you put in it just thrives and grows and becomes extremely happy because it has everything that it needs. It's like the chickens and the turkeys and the ducks and everything working together. It just has everything come together, where it's like, this is the answer to the problems right here.
An enormous compost pile. Is it a way to help save the planet or a threat to public health? That's the question tonight in Altadena, where Los Angeles County has given Tim Dundun an extra 10 days to clean up his yard.
Hold your nose.
A man in Altadena is fighting to save a huge compost heap right near his house. Some of his neighbors are working to help him.
What are you doing?
Oh, we're here to get some of that good stuff, that good compost.
How come
and my husband's giving me a hard time. I should come with my girlfriend. We did better because the guys all helped us. And no grumbling.
Why do you think the county says it's bad stuff?
Because they're all wet. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
And nobody else is complaining. The neighbors aren't complaining. And there's no flies. There's no smell. There's nothing. What's the matter with you dumb people?
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
We're not going to vote you in.
Tell them. And what are you grumbling? And what are you grumbling about today?
Well, I think the laws should be complied with. You know, after all, in this particular area, it might be all right, but other places, it's not right. So.
But don't we need compost to sort of save the planet these days?
But not in a residential area.
Sign the petition to help keep the compost. Save our heat.
So why are you signing the petition, sir?
Well, we're signing it because we need life, and this is life living, and they want to throw it away. They want to throw it away in a landfill. That's ridiculous. It's like growing food and throwing it away in the trash. I mean, we have a lot of starving people here that need to be fed, and this would feed a lot of people.
Yeah, that's really rich dirt, isn't it? You throw a seed in there and wham.
Instant plant.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. That's incredible. I went up there and took a handful, and you could smell the richness in that.
Does it smell bad?
No, it smells good. It smells real good.
Why are you here today, man?
I'm just coming to see our excitement, and it is unbelievable.
Zeke, 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 Zeke. We're in Altadena. Zeke, good morning.
Yes, it's Zeke, the Magic Chic, with the silver streak and the sleek physique from Battle Creek Peak on the planet Bleak. And if you're here to seek the chic...
Right. Okay, stay where you are. Our version of Crap Man is coming here at Power 106 in the Morning Zoo. It's about 8:30. We're in Altadena, all right? Remember, you will hear Crap Man for the first time ever from the pile of compost. This is Jay Thomas. Crap Man. Crap Man.
Hey, kid. Sing along. Do 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 do. It's do do clean true. Do 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 and the 2.2. Let me tell you what it'll do. Arabian sheiks are into oil. The American sheik is into soil.
Oh, I see.
A renewable resource. And it was right straight out of the horse, but now it's been changed back into something that's really, really like the best plant food that ever came along.
Wonderful.
So we call it the royal soil, wrapped in foil, so it'll never spoil. To prove that it was loyal and put it in the toil and created the thing that will end the turmoil and replace oil.
I want a copy of that. I must spread that throughout my kingdom.
Big pile! Big pile! Big pile! Big pile! Big pile! Big pile!
I've come in a man's image on a pilgrimage. That's right. I'm not the son of Sam. I'm not the son of Islam. But I am the first Zik impersonator to make the pilgrimage here. It is a Mecca for modern people. No shit. Well, some shit. I can give you no shit.
Dun 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 dun.
It's nice. Yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, God.
I got a truckload the other day.
How about some of this clay stuff?
Can't get enough.
Look at that. Magic.
This stuff is going all over the community, all over the areas. Like people are coming from all over to set up little piles all over the place now. See, it's like by threatening to kill it, they've made it blow up, and spores are going all over the place. Life breaks out in their yard, and life in abundance, and they love it. I mean, it makes them feel good. Their kids feel better, more peaceful. It's like we get a piece here and a piece there, and here a piece, there a piece, everywhere a piece. Old MacDundun had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Peace will break out everywhere. See. Digging in the thing, we're just grinning from ear to ear and just knowing that they had something that they couldn't get anywhere else. So the whole thing, by killing it like that, it made it to where it was reborn all over everywhere. Everybody that took a little piece of it now is living in a whole bunch of different places now and multiplying. So the whole thing worked out so great that it just makes me feel like, wow, ooh.
So what happened with the county yesterday?
The county, they rescinded the order. They said, get to keep the pile.
What was the grounds? What's the reason?
Well, too much public support. It's like all the youngsters were joining together behind me. If I got you guys behind me, they know there's trouble. It's like there's no way that they can fight something like that because you guys are the future. It's like, and if you're all saying, hey, let it be, it's like you can't beat that power. It's like that power, you guys got the clout. So we're going to help, everybody get together to where when you guys take over, it'll be better than what it is now.
To keep on ice, got my mojo working, but it just won't work on you. Oh, I love you so, I don't know what to do. I got my rabbit's foot, I know it's working right.
Well, we should show Mark. Sure. He should stick his hand into the womb here. That's an experience. Okay, Mark, check this one out.
It's like ashing in there. It's like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. If you can't trust us, who are you going to trust? Because we must adjust the dust or it starts to spontaneously combust, and that gives the ship too much thrust, and it's a sure bust, and the authorities go away in utter disgust. And it's never discussed.
Now, that looks like just a little ordinary hole in the ground. But, Mark, if you could describe what you feel when you put your hand in there, that would be great.
That's one hot hole.
Yeah. How many degrees would you say that was?
Ouch. That is really hot.
Big wheel keeps on turning, proud Mary keeps on burning.
Now, take a fistful out and then put it to your nose and tell me your reaction.
When I found myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary came to me.
Very earthy smell.
That's why I told him, take me to the clink or the shrink.
Does it smell bad?
No.
Does it stink?
I'm taking a deep breath. Smells very fresh, very earthy.
That's the missing link, see? I tell him, take me to the shrink or the clink. I'll tell him exactly what I think. That I've discovered the missing link, the thing that'll put everything back in the pink as quick as a wink. See, like, we got to get out of the red. The red is dead.
I mean, you have done this, Tim. You have built Eden in your backyard with not one molecule of
of chemical fertilizer or anything.
Well, that's why I call myself the dual fool and the coolest of the cool. I've been sent to rule because I know how to turn every single molecule into the stool school that will be the ultimate renewal.
Unbelievable.
Can't believe how hot that is.
I gotta do that too.
It's
It blows my mind every time I do it.
Okay, there's so many things in their feeding. It's like their mouths are making the whole thing. You know, you rub two sticks together.
God.
It's like it was actually on fire over here a little while ago.
Was it? Was it smoking up?
About 3 weeks
Smoke
ago.
was coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right out of this part over here.
The big cigar got out of control, huh?
Uh-huh. This is the Roy-Tan that really can.
The Roy-Tan that really can?
Uh-huh. Make you understand that the whole Earth was originally planned to expand.
Mm-hmm.
See?
That is hot.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe how hot that was.
That's why I got to put the plants in containers to kind of buff it out a little bit. That way,
Yeah.
there's cool stuff in the containers. The container, okay, like I take the stuff from the bottom of the pile. Like see, like if you look down here, you'll see how much different this stuff is here when it's been down the tumbler. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Oh, yeah.
See? This is now you put this in the pot and water through this. It makes like magical tea that really injects the pile with more bacteria that makes it grind faster and faster. This is fine.
How come
so
that's so,
fine.
How come that's so cool? And the other
My
stuff is so
baby's so doggone fine, sends cold chills up and down my spine. Whoa, 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 so fine.
So what? How come that is so cool? Because it's on the top of the pile?
It's been tumbled down. It's like it's.
Oh, it's come down off the side.
Well, it becomes.
So the angle has something to do with the whole process.
As it gets older, it becomes deactivated. The idea is to realize that, you know, once it's in this form here, it's friendly to everything. It's like not only is it doesn't smell, it has no disease, it actually has immunity into it. The worms actually imprint immunity to any toxin that they find in the soil. They actually imprint an immune pattern in there that they absorb that toxin, suspend it in their bodies. When they die, somebody else eats them, and they keep that. It's like it builds a living shield around those toxins, that those toxins can't bother you when they're inside the worm.
So the soil itself, in addition
it's pure.
to the,
yeah, this is pure.
In addition to the plants here, can
Pure. Yes, yes.
the air and the environment.
You got Mojo filter. This is my Mojo. I got my Mojo working, but it just won't work on you. I want. Here's the thing, is like the spiders set up webs all over everywhere. It's like spiders living in everything. The flies think they're in paradise until the lights go out, and then it's like it's just you can hear screams all night long. It's like there's just all kinds of bloody murder going on all the time. I mean, it's like it's horrible. If you spend enough time around here, all kinds of stuff keeps cruising by. I mean, it's like one drama after another. It's like you just can't believe how many things are being consumed here all the time. It's like the spider runs out and grabs the fly, the chicken grabs the spider. It's like the hawk comes and swoops down and grabs the chicken, or the coyote comes by and grabs the chicken. It's like everything has got something that's got to be looking out over his shoulder to make sure that it doesn't end up number two.
You know, in any kind of botanical garden that you can go to, everything's so predictable. But here, no matter how many times I come here, I'm always like lost.
Well, it changes every day.
That's what's great about it.
What do we got here, Tim? That's a coral tree. Think how neat it'd be to have a living roof over your head rather than a bunch of asphalt that's just deteriorating. So, yeah, the bananas are intense. I tell you what, in the last couple of weeks they've grown a bunch.
Wow. You're not supposed to be able to grow bananas here.
Well, it's like a little micro habitat.
They say that's not possible to grow bananas.
Let's see, like the piles, you know how a microwave oven works. It's like it shakes things. It's like the molecules start moving real fast and it heats it up. You know, so instead of a microwave, this is a macro.
It looks like a health hazard to me, Tim.
Well, they were worried that good health might break out. It has to go full cycle because you can see the destruction that we're coming about. It's like you can see the weather patterns are getting more erratic, volcanoes going off all over the place. It's like more species being wiped out all the time. It's like...
So we can either choose the garden,
right, and
choose heaven,
yeah,
or choose hell.
That's why I say, Timothy's got the keys to heaven and Hades.
Amen.
They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me. We'll make a film about a man who's sad and lonely. And all I got to do is act naturally. Well, the movie's gonna make me a big star.
It's amazing how long it takes people to catch on, huh?
Well, it's like Dorothy had to go all the way to the Wizard of Oz and realize that he was a humbug before she found out that the real power was her own people in her own backyard, that she had the ruby slippers all along. All she had to do was click her heels together 3 times and say there's no place like home.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she had to do.
Yeah.
And she could have avoided the trip, but everybody's got to go on the trip to realize where it's really at. If you don't go on the trip, you just don't think that that's the way it is. But now everybody's going on the trip, and they're going to find out that most definitely is the way that it is and was and always will be.
Yeah.
Hello, how do you do? I'm the guru with the doo-doo and the 2.2, and I'd like to welcome all of you to take the tour of the manure that is 100% pure and the sure cure for the poor. So if you're ready to tour, let's tour. Well, this has taken almost 20 years, but the idea is to make people realize that all this material can be utilized to make an endless power supply, an energy supply that's clean, that we can burn this stuff in a way that's constructive, that's harmonious with the environment, harmonious with the universe. Things in nature as our enemy, like the way the farmers work. They spray pesticides and chemicals all over everything to artificially stimulate and kill what they can't deal with. I collect all kinds of different organic material and put it together. By doing that, The life force takes and breaks down everything into a fine dust or a powder that is like life itself. It's like, you can see the quality of all these plants here. It's full of life because there's so much life in the soil. So if we take and utilize everything that we grow and everything that we use and make it to where it's biodegradable, we can make these things happen all over the place, make like living parks. I call this like Ark Park, like Noah had an ark back in the biblical days. Living things have a material body that they leave behind when they die. That just the process of life sheds all kinds of material that can be molded together into like a living building that gets bigger and bigger and more full of life, more harmonious, more full of love. Smoke and the energy is proof that this is power, that we have unlimited power at our fingertips that we have been wasting. You can generate electricity with this. The methane gas can be used to run the vehicles on. All this stuff is clean. Like I say, it doesn't kill things. The soil is the answer. The idea is to realize that every living thing leaves this material body behind at the end, and it is being inexhaustible energy source. This is the vehicle. This is the spaceship. This is what I call the subtle shuttle. It's like this slowly but surely projects you further and further out into space.
They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me. We'll make a film about a man who's sad and lonely. And all I got to do is act naturally. Well, the movie's gonna make me a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can never tell. Well, the movie's gonna make me a big star. 'Cause I can play that part so well. Oh, well, I hope you come and see me in the movies. Then I know that you will plainly see I'm the biggest fool that ever hit the big time. And all I got to do is act naturally.
The nuclear power plants, the radioactive material is killing things more and more. This energy source is not compatible with life. If we don't do something soon, that it's going to be too late. The final message is the proper usage of the sewage, the garbage, and the foliage, and what I have in my package. We really can turn the page on the new, more abundant golden age. It's time to take the voyage. Dun, 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 dun.
Hello, my name is Tyrone Rucker. I am the producer of Dina 2000, and I'm always going through the community looking for something that's a little bit different. And today, we're going to visit an organic mountain. Some call it fertilizer, some call it compost. I call it Doo-Doo Mountain. That's right, and it's located on and near the corner of Mountain View and Fair Oaks. I have a special host today. A young kid wants to get involved in television production. Are we climbing the mound now? The Doo-Doo Mound? The mound of manure. We're coming up on the mound. And not putting emphasis on what's really wrong there. It's just you have to really love plants to understand and appreciate this man's little 2 or 3 acre partial. It's plants, it's greens, it's ducks, it's geese, it's chickens.
Hi, my name is Willie Carter. Today we are visiting the Sheik. Okay, I got it. And this is a Sheik's truck.
There are so many different exotic plants. I tried to simulate it in the studio. You know, you can't even run through it. And this is just the way it is at Tim Dundun's house. You know, the yard and beautiful green plants. I mean, the plants, my camera actually went in do mode. And if you have a camcorder, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. When there's too much moisture in the air, your video camera will shut down. My camera actually shut down when I went inside this property, okay? And I mean, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And you can see a lot of work has been put into it over the years, okay? And plus it's maintained. It's a rainforest. I mean, if the clouds could linger around there long, it would rain in there every day. I really love it myself. So if you're interested and you need some fertilizer and you need a few plants and you need some tips on how to grow it, Tim Dundun is the person to talk to. If you want to get a hold of Tim Dundun, just call the station, 795-5556. Ask the Big Daddy and tell him that you want, tell me that you want Tim Dundun's phone number. And I'll gladly give it to you. All the fertilizer you want. And I'm telling you, I've used this in my mother's yard. I've had other projects that I've done that I've used it in. And it's beautiful. Your oranges, your lemons, your peaches grow extra big. And if you don't believe it, come get some of this. Cactus, oh, he has an abundance of cactus, rare cactus. I mean, you can't even run through this, okay? You can't even run through his yard. Ain't no jumping the fence and running through his yard. No way. You have to follow the trail. We're going through this jungle. I mean, it's like you can't even run through this property. There are so many different exotic plants. And as you can see behind me, I tried to simulate it in the studio. Can't even run through it. And this is just the way it is in Don's yard. And that mountain of manure has to be at least 2 stories high. And this pile of manure has caused like a major problem, but the neighbors have no problem with it. And you can drive down the 605 and you can drive out the 10, and you ever get the smell of them cows and horses out there? Have you ever, I mean, I used to drive a truck and up it, you don't smell nothing. You don't smell nothing at all. Do you know the man that lives in this rainforest across the street?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah?
He's been living here for all of his life. That's what he said. And the police want him to get rid of all of that stuff.
Why do you think the police told him to get rid of all that stuff?
I think because it's a fire hazard, but he take care of it and all of that stuff.
Okay. Now when you say all that stuff, what are you talking about?
I think it's like manure, cow manure with leaves and stuff. Yeah, and if you dig down in, deep inside it, if you go on the top, it'd be all hot and stuff in there. So.
It does?
Yeah.
Is he a nice man?
Yes, he's very nice. When people want to come get some of that stuff for their yard, they give it to him. He give it to them.
He gives the kids tours in his yard.
He gave us tours and.
When he takes you on tours, what does he have in his yard? What to see?
Cactus.
Geese,
cactus.
Chickens, cactus.
All kind of flowers. He got like a little pond back there. He got a lot of stuff. Like when I first moved here, I thought he had like monkeys and gorillas and stuff in there, but now I know he don't. But he's nice.
He's a real nice guy.
Yes, he's real nice.
Okay.
Today we are here with Mr. Hutchison. He lives across the street from the sheep.
How long have you lived here on the street?
I lived here on this street for 2.5 years.
What do you think about all these exotic plants across the street from you?
I think they look nice. I don't have no problem with them. You know, it's a good scenery. You get plenty of sunshine. You get plenty of oxygen in the air. You know, it keeps it nice and clean and groomed over there. I don't see no problem with it.
It's been here for somewhat 20 years. If you want some manure to put in your flower bed to make your flowers grow bigger, just go by and say, Zeke, let me have some manure for my yard. And bring your own bag, bring your own box, you can take all the doo-doo out of there you want, okay? And if you have a few plants that you want, you go by and say, Zeke, I like to have that plant right there, okay? And if he don't want it, because there's so many of them, he'll probably dig it up and give it to you.
The L.A. County commissioners are giving this man problems with this pile of manure up here. This stuff serves the community. He gives it to all the people in the neighborhood for their yards, their gardens, and their flower beds and stuff. There's no problem with this. You know, if it was, he's not selling it, he's giving it away. You know, this is a community thing here. And no one in the community have a problem with this pile here. It's been here all these years. You never had no one down complaining about it. You know, nothing like that. So, I mean, what's the problem? If we can get along with it, why can't everybody else?
So, Jolly, you are another neighbor that lives across the street from the doo-doo man. Do you have a problem with your neighbor?
Oh, no problem at all.
Where are you from?
I'm originally?
Yes.
From Arkansas.
So, living across the street from him is kind of like having a farm across the street, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Does it remind you of home?
Definitely. Yeah, sure do.
Okay, hey, Jolly, do you grow plants?
Oh, yeah.
What is the benefit of having a neighbor like Zeke?
Oh, man, he's just a nice guy, and you can get all the fertilizer, all the plants you want. He eats chickens. He gives me chickens. You know, he's just a nice guy.
Tell me something about that avocado tree.
Oh, man, it has some huge avocados. Yeah, and you know I get a lot of that fertilizer over there from Zeke and put it around the tree.
Okay, now when you say huge, what is huge?
Some of them get grapefruit size. I have no problem with my neighbor across the street. We should have more neighbors on the block and in the community like he is. He's no problem. He's good to the kids. You know, it's quiet. You know, you get up in the morning, you hear the roosters crow, wake you up. That's a good thing. You know, makes me feel at home. He's giving me plants and chickens for my kids, and, you know, we go through there. He lets my kids see. My kids think it's a little animal farm for stuff over there, and they go through. I mean, I can't understand it. This is the nicest guy in the world. Never no problems. We should have more neighbors on the block and in the community like he is.
Mr. Tim, would you like to take us on a tour?
like to go on the tour of the manure that fewer and fewer can endure, even though it's 100% pure and will not injure. Those who are emotionally immature get very insecure when they take the tour.
Sure.
Yes.
For sure? You okay? Well, you want to take the tour, a quick tour? The tour of the manure that fewer and fewer can endure, even though it's 100% pure and will not injure. Those who are emotionally immature get very insecure when they take the tour. For sure, for sure. The good is supposed to triumph over evil, and it's like this is the final showdown. See, this is what I call the brown mound on the ground, for which all good things are bound to abound, and it seems to astound and confound when I expound from the mound and really get down.
So, Mr. Hutchison, do you have any problems with your neighbors? Here, like his chickens, like coming over eating your plants and flowers?
Nope, I sure don't.
He keeps his chickens corralled?
The chickens are free just like the birds. Everybody in the neighborhood, you know, likes to see the chickens. The kids come around all over just to see the chickens and the ducks and stuff, you know, because the only time they ever see them is in the grocery store. Dead. You know,
The light that'll ignite your delight and make everything all right. I call it the dark black night, or the dark black light of the craft of night.
How did you come across collecting? How did you get all these plants? Where did you get all these plants from?
I kind of had the vision. Ever since I had the vision that says my mission was to put everything back into condition, that put me under a great deal of suspicion. So that's why I'm going to become the politician with the real impossible mission.
Okay, now Tim, but you have only, you know, like maybe, what, 2, 3, this is about 4 acres here or 2 acres?
Oh, it's just 1 acre.
Oh, you have a 1 acre parcel here. Yeah, so how are you going to supply the world with green and growth and beauty with just 1 acre?
You make the 1 acre get bigger and bigger. See, it's like if you make up go away from down, there's more surface area available. I can utilize more space within the boundaries because I know how to make the whole thing expand. See, the man with the plan, the man with the fan, the man with the brand, the man that really can take you by the hand and lead you to the real promised land.
Okay, Tim. How many times have the police or who comes out here to harass you about your property?
Well, there's several different county agencies. They had a multi-agency task force try to actually make trouble, I guess.
I want you to understand this, a multi-agency task force is harassing a man that has a 1 acre lot full of plants and doo-doo. It don't make no sense to me when the property is beautiful to me if you're in the plants. And how you keep them alive and healthy is just what he uses. He uses the manure. And there's so many different exotic plants in here, cactus, and they're all growing together in harmony. Okay, now every single one of these plants, did you actually plant them by yourself?
Themselves, because I got the material from the cemetery. See, the cemetery is like a botanical garden over there, so the mulch that was vacuumed up had the seeds, so a lot of the stuff just happens. Doo-doo happens.
Okay, we're gonna go, I want you to go over that again, Tim. Sometimes when you plant mulch, things automatically grow. Is that what you said?
No, when you spread mulch, it's like it becomes like the seed bed, the natural seed beds. So the cemetery was where I started getting the material from. It's like they used to vacuum clean the whole thing all the time. So now they've got mowers that mow. You know, it drives the material back into the turf, and they don't have to worry about it. But back in the old days, they would just cut it, and they would vacuum clean it and make mountains of it. They used to have a guy over there with a pitchfork shoveling into the incinerator, the gas-driven incinerator over there. So I started for the first almost 10 years doing the grass cuttings and leaves and stuff here to really get it off the ground. The brown mound on the ground.
Okay.
You see how fast it is in here with a good thin out? It looks like the walls keep going back. It's like the more up it goes away from down, the more steps you have to go from point A to point B, to where your whole being is being told that this place is much bigger on the inside.
Well, Tim, I'll tell you the truth. I have lost my sense of direction. I don't know which way is north, which way is south. All I can tell where I'm at now is up and down, okay?
Because this is the real resurrection. See, I call it the confection from the resurrection that'll pass any inspection, and that's why you lost your direction. The county says it's nothing but a collection of infection.
Okay. What are these plants worth? Are they money value? What are they worth?
You can't put a monetary value on it.
Although you can't put a monetary value on them, if they came in here and like chopped all your plants down or something like that, what would you sue them for your plants? Let's put it that way.
Well, it's like millions wouldn't cover it. It's like the whole thing is just so, it's so full of life. It's like it's more than just the plants, and it's more than the money. It's about people discovering that life creates material that can be turned into the game that I call the twain. So the twain is the number 2.
Okay, now, if I was a neighbor in your neighborhood and I wanted a plant or any particular plant, would you?
Well, I would give it to you because I'm not allowed to sell things because, I'm not zoned for business and I don't have my business.
Okay, well, not trying to put you on the spot, okay? So what you're saying is if a neighbor wanted a certain type of plant or something like that, and you felt they would take care of the plant, you would gladly give it to them out of the kindness of your heart?
Well, a lot of the stuff that's here I would, but there's some of my pets that I don't want to give up, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stuff for sure. Well, I'd like to be like the life giver.
Okay.
See, I'm the overtaker.
Okay.
The undertaker is the guy that takes care of the cemetery, right?
Right.
See, everything I bury comes back to life. That's why I call it the confection from the resurrection.
Okay, you heard it straight from Tim, okay?
Vermouth is better than Superman's full Ruth, and it's really the truth. It's the Big Mama Ruth.
Uh-oh.
I'm the super sleuth.
Uh-oh. Tim got me going here.
He said I was uncouth.
We're going to get Tim a rap record, okay? Because he's on with the rhymes.
This place is like the promised land for the cats. It's like, like the rats like to hang out here and the squirrels, so the cats like to hang out here because they like to eat the rats. So it's like the whole thing is like rat-a-tat-tat.
Rat-a-tat-tat. Okay, Tim, sounds good to me. Are we climbing the mound now? The doo-doo mound? The mound of manure. We're coming up on the mound. Tim, this is really amazing. It has to be somebody.
Pretty cool, huh?
It has to be somebody who cares about nature.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that love it. It's like
and cares about plants to really appreciate this.
Bring all these folks together. It's like the idea is to break down all these racial barriers, and all the religious barriers, and all the other barriers that are there, and get people to come together and create something that makes the world a better place. And this does.
If we made the world a better place, would the people really appreciate it?
Well, there's a lot that wouldn't, but there's enough that would. Just as long as one person appreciates it, but once you get to 2, you got it. Because wherever 2 or more are gathered in my name, there will I be in your midst. It's like that's right out of the Bible. Where, like people can call Jesus into existence whenever they want to. It's like the whole idea is to recreate the wheel, the wheel within the wheel.
Okay, so would you say that if they want to get rid of this mound because it heats up in the middle, you think they're going to want to get rid of the earth too because it's heated up in the middle?
Well, they'd like to control the earth better, but they can't because the earth is uncontrollable. It's like if you look at Kilauea, right away you can see that you don't want to play with Pele.
Okay, don't want to play with Pele, okay. Tim, do you really think they'll be successful at setting your little heaven here, your little garden of Eden, I should call it? You think they'll ever be successful at trying to shut your Garden of Eden down?
Well, no, they can't do it because everybody comes together and at the right time, and it's like the people come together. It's the people of all races, of all religions. It transcends all those things. It's like it gives people what I call the greater denominator. Okay. So like the idea is to make people realize that all these living things are creating this material that can be made into this magical mound. It's like a parallel universe to where I call this the reverse universe that makes everything get better instead of worse, and it's time to put the bad guy in the hearse. See, kryptonite makes everything right.
Okay. We just took a little tour at Tim's place, and back to you in the studio. It is actually like a jungle inside this property. And the cats on this property are fat cats, okay? And you can see that the geese are really healthy geese, okay? In the morning time, you get the sounds of chickens, okay? What do chickens do in the morning, okay? The rooster crows. You hear the rooster crow all morning, okay? And it's not like it's annoying. It's kind of like country. He gets his manure from several different places. People that have horses, he does their stables for them. So the manure, actually, the Bandini Mountain, I guess maybe 90% of it is sawdust, hay, and horse manure, okay? I don't know what other animals what other place, I don't know what other places he goes to clean their animal stalls, but I know the majority of it is horses. This show is not designed to discredit any of our public agencies. Maybe a little consideration. It's been here for 20 years. Hasn't nothing happened yet. Although the Bandini Mountain, the mountain of doo-doo, although it does produce a gas, okay, hasn't nothing happened yet. And I use his manure to do a house on Olive, and her yard is really beautiful. My mother, I also use his manure to do my mother's yard, and she has beautiful, big roses. I keep saying it and spraying it, huh? So anyway, if you need some manure, you want your yard to look healthy, come down on the corner of Mountain View and Fair Oak. No, I can't put no advertisement out here. But anyway, if you're in the neighborhood and you need some manure, it's free, it's organic. Come and get some manure.
No, it ain't got the date.
Zeke and I are going over to Crenshaw High. We're taking some of this free doo-doo from Doo-Doo Mountain. Yeah, we're taking it over to Crenshaw High to give to the students at Crenshaw High over in LA. And we're at Crenshaw High right now in the back of the school, and they have a community co-op type gardening type situation there where the LA Unified School District has donated property for the community to grow plants, also to train students on how to grow plants and what plants to grow for survival. Well, they have a nice setup, a really nice setup. Now, we're bringing over this mixture of steer manure and hay and sawdust, you know, from Doo-Doo Mountain, okay? And what they're going to do, they're going to take all the organic plants, all the weeds, and they're going to mix all this fertilizer that we're bringing over with it.
What I'd like to comment on is the lifestyle of a gardener is very beautiful and is very helpful to Mother Nature. So one of the main important points that to bring out at this site is we can demonstrate the lifestyle of a gardener. And I don't mean a gardener who cuts grass and get a little money for that. I mean a gardener that's into being a caretaker for the land, and a caretaker that is providing food for the community, access to properly grown food, also a person who's able to transfer this information to the rest of the community. All of the youth who will be coming here, who actually being trained, can take this and apply the same principles and practices right in their homes. So this is this is actually like an institute. It's an institute to develop proper lifestyles. The gardener lifestyle isn't taught in your academic society. They teach you to go out and get jobs. We're talking about becoming a person who has contact with nature, who cares about nature. This changed children. As you see, these kids out here, this is training for them. They can take this training and teach their youth or teach other community members. So you're looking at an institute, or you're looking at a training facility. This is a place where we're going to be bringing in non-hybrid, open-pollinated vegetables. We'll have access to old seeds that hasn't been genetically and chemically altered.
This is old grass and just chopped off stuff, weeds from the lot. So with the stuff that you brought over today, we mix it together.
But check this out now. Look at it. If you take and put this in the incinerator, what does it do? It generates heat and energy. So what is it? It's heat and it's energy. So if you take and compost this stuff and put it back in the soil, you're putting fire in the soil. You put the plants in there. You eat the plants that are full of fire. Your system gets tightened up and gets toughened up. This is another satisfied customer.
You got that?
Black power and white power come together and make green power.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't hear you. Say it a little louder.
Black power and white power come together to make green power.
That's what it's all about.
The brotherhood, do a lot of good for the hood.
Yeah, man. That's it.
Okay.
My town.
Come on, right here. All right, come on. Come on, straight in.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay, wait.
Hold on. We don't want to really mix it too much. Just have them dump.
Think so?
No, yeah, because we're going to move those wood strips. Okay, pull up a little bit.
Okay, change the plan.
Right. Pull up a little bit. Right there. This is it.
Okay, well, then we have to work through this.
Yeah. We're going to use those wood strips for the path. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've been working with this stuff for like 5 years. And it turns the soil into fertile ground overnight.
I know it's tough. I use it on my mama's yard and a couple yards I did.
Yeah.
The building the mountains and all that can really be a physical activity that if you really get into it, it can really be stimulating in more ways than one. To where the idea is to show the kids that a real Jack and the Beanstalk thing can be made, and the real giant is what they find in their own heart. So it's like the key is to get them involved and show them how much fun it is and how how great it is to be able to create something that's beautiful, that's edible, and gives you like a buzz that's better than a drug trip. The connection. What about you and Christian, the guy from Brazil, when you had hit on the mustard greens the other day?
Yeah, you can instantly feel it.
So the mustard greens just go right to your head.
He was a big guy too. Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm sure if he took a good dose of it, or even took some and juiced it, whatever time he allows between meals and workouts, I'm sure his strength would be increased if he did enough of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the idea is to get people to realize this, that you remember Popeye in the spinach can?
Mm-hmm.
See, as the sheik, I become Popeye. So the whole idea is to make everything revolve around the doo-doo. That's really the key to make everything grow better. The more living things you have, the more doo-doo you get. The more doo-doo you get, the more soil you get. The more soil you got, the more planet you got. See, by making the scopes, what we call the hope scope, it's time to elope with the scope. So it's better than the radioactive isotope. Well, so it does really give you a real new sense of hope. It's like realizing that, okay, if we live in an unlimited universe with unlimited space out there, right?
Right.
Okay, and all these living things can create unlimited material. What does that tell you? That we could build a bridge from here to eternity, right? A living spaceship that is inhabitable, that keeps people happy and makes, you know, like the little old lady that lived in a shoe that had so many children she didn't know what to do until she met the guru with the doo-doo, and he let her know that she could turn the doo-doo into shoe number 2, and that would be the living statue that grew and turned into the new point of view on a street called Mountain View. So see, that makes the devil want to sue. That he's afraid to. So see, it's, you know, it all revolves around the number 2, and the number 2, you know, the twain and all these other words. And when you connect it in the right way, see, it's like it makes thoughts in your mind that trigger these little outbursts of laughter. That, you know, the more you smile and the more you laugh, the better you feel, right?
Right.
So the idea is to put this on videotape and have audio tapes and other things, other vehicles that people can get connected to, and we can connect to their money to where by getting enough money together, see, like, look at how big the piece of land is out in the back there. See, that's future cemetery. And I think if we bought that out there and erected a giant geodesic dome that was like clear greenhouse triangular shaped plastic together things that became like the real crystal cathedral, and have just enough stained glass to where when you're on the inside, see, everything else is light.
Yeah.
All the other things, the windows are light, and the rest of it's darkness. See, the church should be light, right? Because God is light.
Right.
But see, that isn't the way it works, is it? You know, the building is pretty much dead, right? So the living greenhouse could be so full of life that when people go inside, they have this connection that, you know, once you really connect and you start feeling your faith, it's like you become immune to disease, and you get to where you're, you know, psychologically the problems go away, everything kind of mellows out, and you realize that we shouldn't have any problems, right? But we've been sold a bill of goods, you know, the bill of goods that Bruce Willis is trying to sell us will only kill us. See, the pile is the trellis. You know, the vine needs a trellis for support. So it's the last resort. It's a sort of a sport that we can export to bring back a good social and economic report. Okay? So by making it, like say, into a competition to where you get the kids playing and have all the schools competing with one another to see who can make the dead asphalt playground into something that might be alive a little bit again. You know, that would really that would do a lot to turn the kiddies back in, because a lot of the kiddies, well, they can tell you, you know, the ones across the street have got some major problems. You know, just the whole situation is real shaky. They have no respect for much of anything, and it's like, you know, it just makes bad vibes. And bad vibes are, you know, when you pass them on to somebody else, it goes on down the line. You know, it's like it's something that we need to avoid passing around, because it just makes problems. And the problems make it to where, you know, we can't all be as happy as we should be. Because, you know, it's much better to be happy and enjoy the whole thing and make it into a big party and show the kids that they can go out in the world and be the peacemakers and have everybody love Americans. So that's why it's going to be just us, U.S. Son, the other brother. It's been sent to help everybody discover we got another mother, learn to really love her and put her into the right kind of cover, or she won't be able to recover, put on the God above her. And now it's time to get in touch with Oprah and Danny Glover. So better not push and shove her. So see how it all ties together in a magical way, that the more you think about it, the more you realize that we really do have the power, that the power is God's gift to all of us, and it's like I've been given kind of like the key to the whole thing. You know, the kilogram is I take the soil and wrap it in a 2.2 pound package as a kilogram, right? So it's number 2 and the 2.2. Wow. That goes along with the guru of doo-doo that knew what to do. So that way the whole thing kind of makes more and more sense. To where, see, the kilogram package of material we're going to sell it as the panacea. See, I might not be from Korea, and my car might not be a Carmen Gia or Kia Sophia, but we can double your money back guarantee that this is the panacea.
That's right.
See that they say they don't want to see you. But that's what they tell me. So you can see how the whole thing can can be interconnected to where, you know, putting the rhymes on the cards and having the cards come to getting out to the kiddies. The kiddies, you know, they really get off on the rhymes, especially the rappers and all the other stuff. It's like we just need to use the right words to where we kind of flush their little minds out and give them good thoughts to think, to where they don't want to kill each other as much and don't want to burn down people's houses and stuff like that. Where it's just a happier society all the way around.
So what would you like to see, you know, come out of all your hard work? This is a lot of work, Tim.
Well, so I just had to try to convince myself that I was having fun. It's like the idea is to, if you're really doing something you enjoy, it's not really that work. In one sense it is, but at the same time, look at how people go to the gym, like down on Cordova Lake. They got the glass windows, and you see everybody lined up on the treadmill running their buns off, or sitting on the stationary bike spinning. You know, they call that spinning.
Yeah.
Well, the Beatles song, "The Fool on the Hill," says the fool on the hill sees the world spinning round. See, the idea is to get people to realize that the whole gardening thing could be turned into a workout type activity that can be fun. That if you really get into it, you can create something that's more than magical. But all the stuff, all the organic material is basically fire. You know, it's all fuel. That if you take and bury it in the pile, it generates energy that can be tapped into to where you can turn the wheels. And you know, it's like the Edison company would get a kick out of it, I'm sure. And well, it's like, you know, look at how much the nasty, ugly energy the nuclear thing generates.
Sounds like the answer to cold fusion.
Well, that's the illusion of perfusion. It's like by using the fusion, so you can see how we take away all the confusion.
Flip it on you.
I was doing some research, Tim, and I came to I wouldn't say ironic, but just I wouldn't even say coincidental. It just made sense that one of the most original conditions and duties of man was to do exactly this, and that was to garden.
Well, how about the Garden of Eden? Wasn't
Right,
that what
right.
Adam and Eve were here to do, to take care of the garden? But you see
Right.
how the snake crawled in and gave them the knowledge that evil can be used to generate money. Yeah, well, look at Hollywood. Isn't the heart of Hollywood pretty much evil? Now look at the burning cars flipping through, you know, doing the twist from running up on the ramp, and the buildings blowing up, and the body parts. You know, Die Hard 4 is going to definitely be a heavy body count. You know, Bruce Willis always gets lots of dead bodies in the Die Hard thing. So isn't it amazing that they can be working on number 4?
Yeah.
And see that, you know, they're scared to death to come here and make a movie about this, because this is it's too much of a threat to the devil himself. You know, kryptonite really takes the power away from the forces of evil. You know how kryptonite works with Superman?
Yeah.
Well, kryptonite is something real that, once you think about it, you know, isn't it something that really has isn't that the function of it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like food that gives you immunity and makes you happy. Doesn't that make your whole life start getting better right off the bat? To where, you know, it's like if you feel stronger and feel more like you're more disease resistant and more full of joy, to where you can share the joy with other people that you come in contact with. It's like the happier you make everybody, the happier they're going to make you back in return. So, you know, just think it would be if everybody could start having happy contests. Well, it's something that seems like it should work if we all. Is it picking it up?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, like I say, if we play our cards right, it's like the you know, like like I got my beard tucked in right now, but you know, it's like this big, so it's like all the kids, you know, they're tugging them out. Oh, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. So see, the Santa Claus image can be used as a, you know, real heavy marketing tool for the kiddies, because they, you know, they already see it. So
it's amazing.
Well, we're selling them the product of a better future. How about that?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Making these Disneyland Disneyland-like, but only better, reality parks. You know, when they grow up and take their kids there, they go inside. It's like, remember Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory? This is the fudge factory.
Yeah.
No, chocolate ain't shit. This is the real. This is the fudge.
This is
You
the
trudge
shit.
through the fudge, and it even sways the judge. So the judge wouldn't budge until I told her I had to trudge through the fudge. And see, they all start laughing like that, and the court is, when they do that, the game is over. They just say, sorry, we don't want Mr. Dundun, no, get him out of here.
Why do you think though? Seriously though.
Well, because the law is a joke, Brother Lee. You know that. It's
Yeah.
like the herb is so benign compared to the alcohol and the tobacco and the prescription drugs and all the damage that, you know, okay, how many people die from aspirin? How many people die from overdoses of caffeine? How many people you ever seen die from smoking the weed? They haven't been able to prove it ever has, see? So,
Wild.
and it's like, you know, it's like making up all these stories about it takes away the credibility to where when you try to tell people that maybe meth and coke and crack and the other stuff is really bad, then a lot of the kids, once they realize that the plant doesn't do what they're saying it does, it makes them want to try the other stuff. So it's like, you know, it's just a lot of things out there that need to be addressed that we can do it in a sly, slithery kind of way that's, you know, everybody has fun. Where well, Lee's, you know, he's come a long way. He's seen quite a few things go down here. So it's like it's just kind of sad that the world wasn't ready a long time ago, because we could have saved a lot of people. Really wouldn't have had to die if you know, if you realize that you can create this thing that's like it's the God machine. You know, it's like it's creation itself, right?
Right.
When you start feeding it, it's like all these things can be propagated. Like most of it is like just cuckoo. I mean, it's like reproduces so much when it's really stimulated, to where, you know, there's no limit to how many units you can have, and each unit. Some of the units, like this mulberry tree, look at how much material that thing has created, and it's like just an itty bitty seed that you can't even see. That if I cut the branches off a little bit later when they're dormant and throw them around, it's like you got to kill them or else they just root in and.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it's a monster. It's like Frankenvine.
Wow.
Like
Frankenvine?
Really oh yeah, we call it Godzilla.
Godzilla. Frankenvine and Godzilla.
Rotan. The man with the plan, the man with the span, the man that really can take you by the hand and make you understand that the mass of land can really expand like a giant gland, and the man in command of the promised land band. So see how by getting it to the right cadence with the drums really going and the whole thing, you know. Imagine me doing like one of the characters is Talker, the Stranger Ranger.
Yeah.
I put the 10-gallon hat on and get out there, you know, like remember Chuck Norris and Walker, the Texas Ranger? Well, Talker, instead of kicking them and beating them up, talks them silly to where once they start laughing out of control, see, they're quitting. You know, when you're down on the ground and you're laughing hard, you know, it's the game is over. I mean, it's like, you know, you're pretty much done for. Right?
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody argue that one yet. Well, it's just, I've been given this gift that's really kind of like a curse. It's like, it kind of scares a lot of people because they can't keep me out of their mind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Tim, would you like some ginger lip balm? It's really comforting. It's ginger. It'll, because you're talking a lot, we could get you some water too.
Oh,
but this stuff, smell it. It's amazing.
I'm okay. I just kind of generate my own steam.
Okay.
That's why I call it the supreme. You know, Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream."
Yes.
We got the supreme, extreme, bad dream with so much steam it turns into the endless stream from the giant canteen full of green cream, if you know what I mean. It makes everybody scream. See, if I scream, you scream, we all scream for the real ice cream. It becomes the supreme dream. It's more or less the scheme to redeem, if you know what I mean. It's like the protein machine that's long and lean and plenty clean, if you know what I mean. Let's see, a lot of people call it obscene. But it's really the Green Queen. See, like, remember Gene, the dancing machine from the Gong Show? Did you ever watch the Gong Show back?
Yeah.
Remember the black guy used to get out there and do the
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. Well, he used to come here and get the Green Queen. Gene, the dancing machine. So isn't that ironic how the whole thing has got all these people connected to it that make it to where the story is just so out there that, you know, it's like almost has to be approached as a novel because just, you know,
It includes everybody in the world.
well,
Everything is
in one way or
connected.
another, it's like, you know, everybody is connected, like the secret life of plants, to see how the plants respond to the least little thing that was going on to the to their tender, their gardener. You know, it's the interconnection of the spirit that, you know, can't be denied. If you watch the graph, they're doing, you know, if he's getting beat up, they're going like this, and if he's enjoying himself with his girlfriend, they're grinning and smiling, and you know, it's all, it's the same. But see, people just don't want to give the, you know, they want to look at humans as being so far above and beyond and all that we're not connected to the rest of our support system. But that's foolish because without it, we're done for.
And it seems like everyone in the world, if you really think about it, would agree with you.
Well, one way or another, see, if they start arguing, they look like fools, and then everybody laughs at them, and they just say, nope.
Like the jester.
Well, it's like that's the sheik is the real jester. See, like coming in, like I told you, as Tim, I was timid, but as the sheik, I'm the intimidator. See how it's like the alter ego is the other side. See, it's like once you put on the right garment and they see you as that, and they run up to you and ask the questions, and you fire back and give them exactly what they want to hear, but in a way that they never see. The rhymes just kind of hammers it home to where they just, you know, they get a real dose of it, to where they just, you know, they know they've been melted down, and it feels good after they get themselves composed. They forget all about it and don't even think about it because, you know, it's so mind-boggling that, well, you know, you're lucky that you were tough enough to be able to handle it and not have it freak you out, because, you know, the super bliss just blows a lot of people's minds.
You know what we're going to do, Tim? We're going to take this video, we're going to chop it into pieces, and we're going to copy it with different file names all over the internet so people can pull these chapters at will. Because anybody in the world who wants to get connected to the internet can get any information they want.
Well, see, like doing all these different characters, see, like I'm going to do the private eye and the investigator, like Joe Hotfudge Sunday. Dun, 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 dun. So the last name being Dundun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Joe Hotfudge Sunday, the pile's the pile of fudge, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Joe Friday was the cop on Dragnet, right? Huh?
Right.
Okay, now Sunday is either 2 days, 5 days late or 2 days early, whichever way you look at it. Dun, 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 dun. Either the glass is half full or it's way empty.
Sure.
A lot of people's heads are so empty that they can't really cover what I'm saying, so, you know, it just really blows over their head. But see, somebody like you that can relate to it and process it and react in the right way, it's great for me because I need the feedback. See? Well, Lee will tell you, you know, most people are afraid of me.
Yeah.
Which, it's mind-boggling because being around you, I feel blissful.
Well, but see, you're not full of fear. See, you've got your life under control, and you're on the right side. So when you get fed the good food, your spirit lights up, and it makes you feel good. It makes you full of bliss. But if you're on the other side and you're full of darkness, when the light comes in, you get scared because you haven't experienced the light, and you don't want it in there. Because your boss, the devil, says, no, can't have that. See? So you're blessed with this already enlightenment. See that when you pour the fuel to it, the flame burns brighter and you feel more alive and better, right?
Right.
See? And that's what you want to feel?
Right.
And you want to share this with other people, and when you do it in the right way, you realize that they won't mind giving you a little bit of whatever it takes to make your life work. It's where you can get away from the mean old computer company and make your own thing happen, right? See, it's like I've got the stuff and you've got the way to put it together, you see?
Yes, I do see.
See? So by, you know, the more you grin and the more you smile, the more people are going to want to know what you got. See, it's like you're putting on the garment of the sheik in a different way, you see?
It'll be the most significant movie recording
ever.
in
It's going to sink the
2002.
Titanic. See, don't panic if I get a little manic. It's totally organic, and we're really going to sink the Titanic.
And the year 2002 has a 2 on each side of it with the sign of infinity.
It's got the in the middle, just like Hoover. See, like when you talk to Mike Hoover, he's definitely going to go, So that's why he put the extra OO in his email address. Isn't that funny? Well, see, it all ties together in a way that just makes this chemical reaction in your head that you gotta laugh because it's a setup, right? It's too good to be true, but it obviously is true because all these people are there. They got he's got the $50,000 big camera that, the whole thing is pretty incredible how it all came together at the right time. It's funny how you called up just out of the clear blue on the second Sunday of
his mom's birthday is the day that I met you.
What was that?
He told me that today, the first time I talked to him.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you remember the day you came?
Yeah, the day I came, the first day I met you.
What day?
June 3rd, 2000.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Huh?
Yeah, that's
the
my
3rd
mom's
of June.
birthday.
Oh, it was the 3rd of June. It was another dark and dusty Delta day. Remember that one?
Oh,
Billy
yeah.
Joe McAllister jumped off of Tallahatchie Bridge.
Yeah.
Well, see, your Billy Joe jumped off that day, right?
Yeah.
He landed in the soft stuff and he was okay, right?
At that moment, I knew,
That you found
wow,
it.
how about this all the time? What a goal. My goal is to be in a state of bliss, and I want everybody else in a state of bliss, too.
Well, now you've found the mechanism to make it happen. See, now you're, and by being able to tweak the computer, so you can, you can kind of embellish the image. It doesn't even really need embellishment, but
it doesn't.
Well, it's almost.
But it would be fun.
Well, sure.
As a cartoon.
Right. Exactly.
You're right. It may be more widely received as a cartoon.
The anti-moon cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon
There you
shadow.
go.
See, that song fits into my life so well, it had to be written for me.
Yes.
So it's like just too many coincidences, too many ironies to be something that just isn't meant to be. But see, like I've lived this horrible depression and this manic, just one minute you're really tripped out because people come along, they say they're going to do this and that, and it's going to happen, and you're, oh my God, it's finally going to happen.
Yeah.
They either die or they go away, they change their phone number, and you never hear from them again, and then it's the reality of, oh man, it didn't happen again.
Oh,
I'm just really
Tim.
bummed. I'm really,
this time.
I'm just really bummed.
It's on.
Tim, this time it's going to happen.
That's right.
119 is right around the corner. See, that's 119 is the 11th month, 9th day.
Yes.
That's
cure.
It's 911 backwards.
Yeah.
And it's also the second day of the second week, because, okay.
That's deep, dude.
First week is 1 through 7, right?
It's all deep.
8-9 is second day of the second week, right?
Yes.
Dang.
Okay, November is the second month of the second quarter of the second half, right? Because there's 2 halves and two quarters in each half. So
You're right. It is.
see, November is the second month of the second quarter of the second half of 2002. So see, it's where all the twos converge at one time. So it's like where people finally are going to realize that there's something about the number 2 that's like like God is number 1 and the earth is number 2.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's beautiful.
Well,
and natural.
It's discovering the real beauty of mother and father holding hands, and you can feel the love that they have for each other, but the devil is trying to break them apart, and we can't allow it to happen.
And all you need is more than 50%, because then you get everybody.
Well, so you just need to connect with one person like you that is not afraid to let it all hang out in agreement, and it doesn't scare you. See, it just it empowers you and it turns your the light inside of you shines bigger and brighter to where when you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, wow, it's like it's really working. And now I want to share it with people, and they can give me enough to where I can break away from the evil computer company and do my own thing. And we need to start buying land all over the world. And see, Paul McCartney is ready. It's like he's just got married again and wants to maybe start a new family with his new bride. But the condition of the world is so ugly that he realizes that something has to be done. So
I'm sending him this tape.
All right. Well, see, like by getting him involved, see, it's like he's got the resources. He's going to realize that we're like, okay, we were born 8 days apart.
Right.
8 days a week. Or better yet, 8 days a sheep. He was born the 13th of June, 1942, and I was born the 5th of June, 1942.
Oh, wow.
So see, we're or 2 days before my birthday.
Wow.
2000, so that's too funny, huh?
It is.
But see, like I say, all of a sudden you're going to just start feeling this power surging through your body that, you know, that you're going to just get to where, you know, you just can't stop moving and enjoying the movement, you know, where you just, all of a sudden you're just going to be pumped. To where when you share this with other, especially, there's a lot of women out there that are just searching for the real deal. I mean, it's like a lot of these people are giving them phony stuff. Like, how about a shot of Botox, you know?
Oh, gosh.
You know? Whereas when you really get the bliss, it's like it really, you know, it's
natural.
Well, it's an antioxidant. It's a stretcher. It's like it tightens everything up. So you see, when we get the right vehicle to share this with the kids, you know, and make them demand that they get the game going inside right on the playground. Because, you know, okay, like when Mike Hoover came, it was the second Tuesday of the second month of the second quarter of the first half of 2002 for our second run to the Second Street School for Channel 2 on the second Tuesday. It's like when we got over there, all the kids were just bouncing the ball on the dead playground, but the teacher lady, she made like these raised beds right outside the science lab where all these plants were growing with the butterfly attractant plants, and the kids were running around with the butterfly nets, carefully catching the butterflies and taking pictures of them, and they even went out and collected the eggs and hatched them in the schoolroom and watched the fed the caterpillars and had the caterpillar go into the cocoon and actually have the butterfly emerge inside the classroom. So, but you know, the difference between the basketball bouncing on the dead playground as opposed to these little raised oasis beds coming out of the middle of the dead playground and the kids really tripping out on it. It's just too powerful. They can't put it out there because the first thing that gets cut is, you know what? The garden has to go.
Why?
Because athletics is God. It's like they want people to be sitting around dipping their dip into the product that the sponsors are selling on the tube and drinking the Coors or the Bud or Budweiser or the little frogs croaking back and forth. It all sells product. You see, where they're threatened by the fact that this is going to restructure the way our whole society runs. So isn't that weird that it's that powerful?
Isn't it weird that this is my second visit to you?
And today is the 3 Tuesday? Right? What happened to 2 o'clock? The clock went back to 1. So now when it hits 2 in the morning the second time, now after 2, we've already had the third 2 today. I remember you tried to come last week, but you couldn't. It's your second attempt.
Yes.
That's 2 weeks after you called, too.
What?
Well, she said she was born in '64. That's when I turned 22, and my niece's name is Janet also, so she's now obviously Janet number 2, and not in a bad way because Janet number 1 is part of the family, so it just all ties together in a way that once you realize how the number 2 ties in, it's cool.
I'm honored to be Janet number 2.
Well, it's perfect. It's like you've got the means to contact the people that really need it. And like I say, once they get it, they're going to turn on. It's like, just think about people being able to throw their Prozac away and all the chemical crap that they're taking now. Look how many people are hooked up into the chemical answer for the problem that's out there that doesn't get better if you run to the chemicals.
Right.
See, if you attack it with laughter and these happy people running away, the problem can't exist. Isn't that weird how simple it is?
It is.
And how, like I say, the family down there, they got all these little containers, this big by this big, all full of radishes and broccolis, and just the whole yard is just beaming with life. They're such a tight woven family. I mean, you can just feel the love, and they're all glowing, and they're collecting their own seeds, and they're searching the internet now, putting the word out, gathering all kinds of people together too. So, see, the network is already starting to form to where, you've got a real good base to work with already, you see.
For heirloom seeds.
Well, for stuff that just, you know, self-perpetuating. Or
Yeah.
the idea is for the big people to get control of the seeds to where you have to run and give your money to them, and it's going to cost you more every year because, you know, we got these costs and that cost, and you need a little of this. So, you know, we just got to do it. We hate to, but, you know, it's you and me. So, you know how that works. So it's like, but see, like, we can show people that it's much better to, if everybody gives just a little bit more than they take, there's, how much is there then, see? It's inexhaustible. If everybody's giving more, there's always more and more and more and more and more, see? But people break the chain and they get afraid and they try to take more than they're sure and they blow it, see?
This is going to be the most enjoyable chain letter.
Yeah.
The only one worthwhile.
Atomic. It's like atomic spiritual reaction. So rather than an explosion, it makes an implosion, where you, when you melt inside of yourself, it really starts to happen. But you know, we got to go over and say hello to to Jim across the way. He's one of the players that's been involved for a long time. I told him you were coming up. He's
great.
He's you know, he's been attacked by the devil like you can't believe. His story is so intense, and you know, he was really involved in 1990 when the whole thing was on fire, and you know, it's like he's really been through hell and high water. But see, a lot of it he brought on himself just by not being able to separate himself from the co-cores and the other little obstacles that came along to pull him off course. You know, the things like that can, you know, you get involved in stuff like that and you forget what you're doing. So.
You want to get him?
Well, let's go. We'll go over there and hang out there for a little bit, and then we can kind of
watch the little machine.
Okay. See that little tape? It's okay, because it's clipped on you. It's fine.
You can walk with it.
Should I want to keep it on for the for the trip? Should I just put it in my pocket?
Empty the compost out of my shoes.
All right, well, let me just play a little.
Yeah.
This is mine to keep?
Yeah, here's the lid.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. So out of tune, I better shine it for now.
Hey, you know what you can do is, oh great, you've got it in your pocket. I didn't see.
That'll work, huh?
Super.
Okay, well, hey, let's head on over to Jim.
All right. Wow.
So tell us how all this began, Tim.
Well, it's like this is actually where I dumped the first load of stuff. It was like in February of '72, right here. And then just started to like my wife and I split up, so I came back here. My folks were getting old, and I just kind of really got into it. I found out that the cemetery over there back in those days, they used to have like 3 vacuum cleaners that they used to suck the grass cuttings up. They had a guy over there. You can still see the chimney. It's like a gas-fired incinerator that he would sit there with a pitchfork and pitchfork the grass cuttings in all the time. So for several years, I just put layer after layer after grass cuttings. But it seemed like I had the tree seeds and all the other stuff that fell on the floor of the cemetery, to where it was like, you know, a real form of resurrection that way. It's like the fact that the death had to be maintained was making this abundant life thing over here, to where, you know, it was too heavy for people right from the beginning, to where, you know, I always, you know, I didn't quite have my life together, you know, the demonic forces of, you know, being an iron worker and going through all the weirdness of the world and a plasterer and all the other insanity. I didn't quite have my life together, so all of a sudden having this power, you know, it's like it was hard for me to handle, because, you know, the Sheik was like an awesome character, but I could just go and blow people. I mean, just people would be down on their knees, just quivering. I mean, it's like, so you can imagine how, you know, what a hard mental trip that is. You know, say 1 minute you're You know, you're really tripping out, but then the next minute you realize that you're blowing them off away so much that they're scared to death to where you pretty much is doomed to be alone.
Wow.
Why do we have this fence here now? It's been here for a while, but you know, they don't know.
The cemetery put this up to keep me out. See, like this, look, see, this is when the power was on fire. See all this material here?
Oh, wow.
See, so what happened was, like, when the stuff burns, it makes chambers to where, okay, like, if you have a big opening in the middle, and you have stuff on top, and you go in, it vaporizes you. It's like 1,000 degrees. It was burning like a volcano on the inside. Well, look how big the pile is here. See? Oop.
All right.
See? It used to go all the way back to beyond that pole tree there. So see, they scooped all this out here and took it out there and put herbicide on it because it was still alive.
Oh my gosh.
So, you see how the wagons are, this thing is like concrete is burning it instantly. These native employees want to make it vaporize.
This is the back part of the pile after they dug it out. This is the cemetery's property that I'm on. All of this is theirs. And when they scooped and dug out all of this back area, they spread it out here. But it has so much power that a whole bunch of poppies began to spring up. This whole place would have been filled with poppies. It would have been like a poppy field, but they sprayed herbicide. And of course, herbicide is carcinogenic. You didn't know that? Yep. So from right here on, where they're standing, from where I'm standing to them, it was gonna look like the other side when we get over there. Right in the hood. Next to Charles White Park. On Mountain View. This is where they fenced it off. You can see the fence. Started from there, comes all the way up, goes all the way up over beyond there, and then there's this other half right here. Just this little section was their property, and they just wanted to do this and mess with them. We'll get into it a little later. Serious shit. View that there.
Guys out in the sun, see how it gets this, the reddish glow to it. The ones that are in the greenhouse, where the UV is filtered out, you'll see what a difference it makes. Wow.
Like we're not even in America. This is like the nursery part of the property. A big gym stay. Are you guys going to the greenhouse? Yeah. Shouldn't go so fast. Uh-oh. Fit it.
come and get these vegetables.
Oh yeah.
You are not going to believe it.
Well, see, the organic produce has got such a tremendous value now that we can create some of the best stuff that's ever happened.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Right here. Little tenderlings.
That's pretty mind-boggling, huh? Well, see, the more you get into it, the more you feel one with yourself. See, okay, this is that plant I was telling you about. See the difference with the UV filtered out?
Okay.
See, this is special plastic. See, look up at the sun. See
okay.
See the
This filters out the
UV, right?
Interesting.
Where you can be in here and you won't sunburn, see, but you still get the growth. Like, think if we had like a convalescent hospital.
Sure.
Wait a minute, Tim.
Better than that. How about this thing's on wheels? On wheels, and you just drive it in the school playground. The kiddies come in, they make their own salad, and they take the plants out and they decorate their little mound, and the whole thing becomes like a competition to see.
A salad bar on wheels.
Wow, just a salad bar of learning and
a growing, a live salad bar that's alive.
And then take the whole mobile right into inside the prison, see?
Yes.
Yeah, and really correct the people and give them some.
Oh, now see.
That would be compassionate.
They don't want that to happen. And then take away all that money and them jobs, sir.
So you see how threatening it is to the whole system. We're talking about trillions of dollars. So it's amazing how something so simple can be so effective. But look at the color in this guy here. See, it's like they get real tender in here too, because they don't have to work very hard, because the sun is not. It doesn't without the UV. You don't really feel it nearly as much. But still, it's really warm inside of here, and if you're aerobicized in here, you're filling yourself up with this. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Wow.
Oh my God!
It's amazing.
Well, see, like when you meditate and really get into the chamber here, you see how your whole state of
infusion. It's an energy infusion.
Well, sure, you're going to the next level, and you don't have to commit suicide. Right?
That's right.
Well, you don't have to be afraid either, see, because the more you love it, the more it loves you, and the more you give it, the more it gives you back, because there's no limit to, one of these Swiss chard plants can make so many seeds, it's mind-boggling. It's like they're just, all this stuff, stuff like this, that's just a cutting that you break off. And
everybody would want this. Everybody.
Well, it's like say if we teach the kids how to create it, it'll be available for everybody. See, that's where Pokemon comes in. I gotta get a bite. Right?
That's right.
It's the tool.
Wow, that nasturtium.
Some of the trailing ones.
It is amazing.
Well, they really vine out. See, that's part of Frankenvine.
Oh wow.
See, when the vine starts to entwine, it really blows your mind.
Wow.
See how tender those guys are?
Down the hack.
So see, like, it's really easy to grow like the best lettuce and some of the best green stuff just in those 1 gallon pots.
Wow.
So see, like if you start growing your own stuff and start eating more of it, you'll be surprised at how much more powerful you feel.
It's enriching. I can.
Well,
taste
it's real.
It's alive.
It's alive. It's alive. It's like that's what.
Frankenvine.
I'm Dr. Frankenvine.
Wow.
Tastes like butter.
Yeah, look how big the mustard's getting already, right? It's coming on like gangbusters.
Yeah. Wouldn't even hurting the plant. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. So what do you think, Janet?
That was such a tasty meal.
So the mustard's got a little bit more.
That got kick, boy.
A little bit more kick to it. Well, you can imagine just like doing a quart of juice.
Wow.
You can imagine dusting a quart of juice, how you just start doing instant backflips.
How's your nose feel?
It feels wonderful.
That's that bomb.
That is spicy.
You gotta see the big one on the side. I want that.
This is like better than any wasabi I've tasted.
Hold up. Where is it?
So hot.
Really, we need to season it.
I
Because
know.
it's fresh, and you see.
To put this in pasta.
Now, when food is cooked,
Once you get the hang of it,
cooked out.
on some of these guys. Look at the velvety sheen.
When it's in the supermarkets, it sits up, loses all of its mineral content. Therefore, you're eating nothing but matter. Not receiving any type of nutrients or any of the like.
Thousands and thousands more branches, and it just goes on and on. These things will all go off in the spring.
Yes.
Look at this flower.
Oh, those are those lilies, huh?
Isn't that beautiful?
Let me
I
get
don't
that.
know what that is.
That's clavia?
Clavia. I always say lily. Why do I say that? Clavia.
Yeah, look at this.
Wow.
Look at this guy here. What's this guy?
Very.
Yeah, look at wait for the police on this guy. That's the work of art there.
Clavia.
So you can see how, what color thing you can make. It's like you can really.
I'm 6'3".
Well, it's like one thing can be like a performance art thing, where you get the kids, competing with one another and making a statement of beauty and how America all of a sudden is something that we're really, that everybody's happy with, and we can, only use military as a last resort. We'll train the military to be broadcasting this around. So as the first step. These are like living memorials to where people that you're memorializing. They have we're going to climb up on top of the pile. Let's go see Jim.
Okay. Back this way?
Let's see. Oh, look at here. People left their stage here. They left their dog.
Oh my gosh.
The dog hitch on there. See how much the trees growing up around it.
That is cool.
That's why on the JPL watergraph after El Nino showed a lake here. The lake of fire. Well, you see how it's really real, right?
Right.
See how when the light goes the scene might have itself in house. You can change it all around and change the scene big time.
Wow.
And make it like a game out of changing the scene. There'll be a whole bunch of
Real ridiculous.
Look at here. Play with it. Look closely and move back and forth. See how the color changes. See, stare at each individual strand. See the colors of the rainbow on it?
I do.
And if you splits it, it really is intense. So, see, I'm the real Spider-Man. Well, I made 114 million on the weekend, but look, see the orb? The orb on there?
Wow.
See, it splits that in the morning, especially on a foggy morning, and the image, the Spider-Man image is pretty, see those are, that's a little bit different type of lily. See the flowers are different on that one, but see how beautiful they are?
Chilling. Like 8. Catch up.
That's the stables. That's my age like that back when I was a kid.
That's pretty good. Looks good.
Hey, what's up, Lee?
What's up, man? How you doing?
The air is much better in here. How the whole thing is really, on a summer day, it's like, 20 degrees cooler in here. The whole thing. It's like those silk moss trees up there. See like that?
Oh, wow.
This is-
That lady? Oh.
One branch got so many flowers on it, broke off.
Look up there.
What up?
See like those trees? Okay, see that cottony thing hanging down there?
Yeah.
That's kapok. You ever heard of kapok?
No.
That's a move, isn't it?
Kapok is like they use it for flotation. Used to use it for flotation devices. It's like for you stuff it in a life jacket, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like vegetable goose down. It's like if you like stuff a quilt with it. It's just it's insulating and it's just as soft as goose down.
And natural.
It's called kapok. It's like the tree is from Brazil. It's also called silk moss tree. So there's a new pod there. See it?
I do.
And then they get pretty big, and then all of a sudden they break up, and then the floss material, the cottony stuff is a propellant for the seeds. When the wind blows, it breaks up into little pieces, and usually one seed will go, but the wind will take it way, way far away because it's like a little vehicle to get it to help propagate it. And see, like with the palm trees over there, the fronds act like shoots. The taller they are, the further the seeds will shoot away from the mother plant because of the angle of it, and the faster it goes, the further away it goes from the mother plant. So it's kind of
That's so interesting.
a neat thing. So you can see how we definitely are ready to take over the world. The world seems to need help. Huh?
I know that's right.
So the whole thing has many beneficial aspects to it. That's the nice part about it. But it just really gives you something that you don't really get out of most other programs. If you know what I mean. That's something that really hits the spot. Right?
Yes.
The B spot, the bliss spot.
I'm kind of slow.
That was a gotcha, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that was.
Well, you have to agree, right? Well, see, that's the nice part about it. It's like it's just anybody that disagrees now, if we get them on videotape, they'll look like the biggest fool. And people laugh hysterically at them for just trying to even figure out it's like it's just too far out.
Absurd.
But here, this will give you a little idea what happens.
It would be absurd.
Okay, the small container there is sitting on top of this stuff here.
Yeah.
So see what's happened is like you can see where the roots have gone out of the bottom. So this shoot here.
Wow.
Like see how big the leaf is, and see how colorful it is. No trace of mildew. The aphids get on there and they just get blown off.
Wow.
The whole thing is just really, like to see how big that bud is there.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real.
That is amazing.
A real killer. So
strong.
Well, it just goes to show that the power is in the soil, and once the roots plug into it, it's like it goes into overdrive, like. So it's like, you see how spongy it is?
Yeah.
Let me do a little demo here. You remember how the Beatles sang about how you got muddy water?
Wow.
What do you think?
Liquid gold.
So see, that stuff could even be bottled up and put on the market as some kind of magical plant elixir that the whole thing can be marketed and turned into a gold mine. But the problem is the not being zoned for business in this particular spot is a little bit of a problem.
I think that people would change the law.
Well, if you wave enough money, I don't know if anything. Isn't that it?
Yeah.
So you see how it's important to get the kids to realize that if they finance this thing, that we can set up, like I say, global parks that by the time they grow up and their kids are, the world will be at peace, and when they go there, they'll just have such a rewarding feeling that they were part of making the thing happen. See how the pumpkin vines crawl all the way?
Wow.
Up there, see like they have big ones will hang out. What happens is the stem gets bigger because it feels the The weight, it gets much stronger and bigger because it's hanging out.
It knows it's. Oh, that's amazing.
That's Frankenvine. See,
What is that again?
Frankenvine?
What is that plant?
Pumpkin. Let's see, like, check out what, what my middle name is? Frank.
Wow.
Isn't that funny? Francis?
Yes.
Or St. Francis of Assisi?
Yeah.
I'm St. Francis of Assisi.
Oh my.
Oh.
What do you think, huh? Oh yeah, see the profile of the top? See the giant mustard green up there?
What? The giant mustard?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I gotta go get a piece of that.
We'll make a close a better run. This is just the first.
Look at the colors.
Yeah, isn't that intense? So where do we see the golden amaranth? You see, like the thing is like a tumbler. You see, as the material tumbles down the hill, it gets finer and finer. So fine, my baby, so doggone fine. Sends those chills up and down my spine. You see, like every spider, if you look at them, they're all grinning. Look at your house. Look, you got this cathedral pad you're living in. Dinner is served promptly all day long. And it's like you got to be happy, right?
Wow, this cactus, look!
Uh-huh. Let's reach into the light.
It's got the flower.
No, that's upscope. It's reaching for the light, so rather than branch out down below, it shot all the way up to get above the trees, see? Isn't that smart?
Yeah.
See, they think plants are dumb? I think the people are dumb for thinking that. Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
See how nice the lighting filters and all the plants and stuff? And the pile out there, all that stuff just really disintegrates when they come off.
Front yard. Came from the side of the house. This is all front yard. What? Driveway side of the house.
It's a stimuli for everything to do its best and even better. Once you've got your root stangle and this stuff here.
Look at these. Close up.
And see all different kinds of coleus plants. And see, okay, something evidently attacks these guys in Brazil, so they grow the spines to protect themselves because they're pretty succulent. The wood is not that hard, and the bark is pretty tender too. But with the spines on there, it's pretty hard to get a bite on it. Well, it's usually something that attacks you, so you gotta do whatever you gotta do to protect yourself. So it's pretty smart. It makes those spines that are pretty tough to deal with. Yeah, look at, you know what that is? Italian parsley.
Oh, wow.
See, look at that.
Wow.
How long the leaves are. Well, see, this guy here is making seeds.
That tastes excellent.
Oh yeah, well all the stuff gets super flavor and super power. It's like the quality of the stuff is just can be mind-boggling. The happier it is, the better quality. It's like when you get it really working. It's like
Be good to Boule, boy.
Had a few dedicated.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking.
What?
Let's go copy it.
Dang, this is a bumper.
Oh, look at eggplants coming.
Oh, here, Tim.
No, that's okay. I'm used to it. Look.
Okay.
Look. Is that pretty?
That's beautiful.
This was, yeah, growing in somebody's garden. They were gonna toss it, so I dug it up and transplanted it. Look at how happy it is.
The happiest eggplant on earth.
It's died and gone to heaven. It made it to the promised land. So, oh, no, you can take a whiff of that one.
Wow.
It's power, huh?
Very sweet.
Well, it's like a few days ago. It was really.
It was
It's
really
kind of loose.
booming.
It's fading out a little bit now, but boy, it was really a potent one. This is Indian tree tobacco. That grows wild up in the hills. So like the seeds were in the silt that I brought from the dam. So it's like the Indians used to smoke, or at least I guess some of them still do smoke this stuff, but just like. Clusters of seeds. Here. Those are the seeds.
Wow.
You know, count how many you got right there. And then look at how many's on the one plant.
That is amazing.
Well, they start out so tiny that you would think that they could never grow, but they're tougher than nails. It's amazing how something that small can get off. And that's
It's the other side of the pond where the destruction didn't take place. Or at least 2 stories at the top of the house. 2-story house.
That was pretty good.
Amaranth.
That big. You see the golden amaranth? How pretty that is?
Oh,
Purple
yeah.
amaranth. Golden
Those
amaranth.
are gorgeous.
Well, like I say, you can see how this thing can be really turned into super artwork with the right layout. It can just really be mind-boggling. And then just even the marigolds, see how vivid they get. And then when the African daisies go up, well, the whole thing is just really like about the flowers. Oh yeah, see right behind you, see these
pretty big
these are
hands.
mustard seeds. See which one of these guys don't have a dozen? So, you know, tell them the peacocks there have a dozen. So you keep making more and more. Okay, I think the real flowers have 3 shots of gold.
Hold this up.
I'm gonna try that.
Eat it?
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Oh, these got some sneaking up on you.
Have you ever seen such a big mustard green leaf?
That's intense, isn't it? It's not real. Well, that one leaf is fine with the back. How'd you like that bud? Is pretty intense, huh?
It is.
What did you just eat?
Taste this.
Yeah, that's the
Here's,
bud part.
Taste this. You won't believe it.
Well, think if you garnish your salad with a lot of those, huh?
It's like a spicy.
You know, all these seed buds like this, that's where the real power's at.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you see how that stuff goes right in there and really gives you a lift.
There's no good yet.
So look at that over there, how full of life it is.
Wow. I'm going to take this home and give it to my rabbit.
Okay, sure.
Freedom.
Oh my God, your rabbit's gonna go crazy.
My rabbit's name is Freedom.
Man, your rabbit's gonna go nuts. Eat this.
Lee,
Yeah.
look at this. Flower and eggplant. This Italian.
Where do you find it?
Feel the power?
Yeah.
Look at this guy, see, it's plugged into the pile. Look at that. Again, let's see. Let's put it out here.
When you pinch this off, then where do you put it? In water?
Water's bad, but they do better in water. They're green in about 10 days. 2 weeks. What happens is it makes once they not chicken spice. Having doubles, that's double penny per month. It goes up into the millions. See the sausage is not that old, but look at it. It's already making millions of seeds. See the babies are coming up all in place.
Wow.
This is one of the baddest trees in the world here.
Wow. Look at these little trees.
Feel the point on that guy very carefully.
Wow.
So like if you hit that, it's like it goes up against your bone in fragments, and the pieces stay in. It gives you this terrible infection of where you don't even want to crash into this guy.
Wow.
No gun.
You see when they're green, they're much stronger. How bad that would be in a dark gun?
Yeah, dark gun. Blow gun.
See the golden one back there? They had some that were like this big. Call them gold member. You know the Austin Powers movie Gold Member, the last one out. The zucchinis were the real gold members. But yeah, it's like the squash vines pump out so much squash, it's just unbelievable. See the tomatillos all over the place?
Wow.
And the chili peppers? Aren't they cute?
Yeah.
Do you like salsa?
I do. I love salsa.
Well, you want to take some tomatillos? There's a lot of them on the outside.
That's great. I would love to.
This is that guy we were looking at down below. You see, look at the color on that one. How
beautiful.
Incredibly healthy. Oh, and then look at the golden amaranth from down
Look
here.
at this, Lee.
Okay, check this out. See that? There was two of them together. Like this one was like a blonde. It's like and that one was like the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
And this one here, she broke her back. But the guy is still. Look at the guy. How beautiful he is. When they were both standing side by side.
Yeah.
What happened is the rain got on them and they got too heavy.
Oh.
It's See, this one's made like millions of seeds. See how the seeds are there? Of all those, so many seeds in this one plant. It's going to take them to the world.
Wow. It is.
Okay, like check this out.
A little, you could sow.
So look at, see, just this one little tip here. There's hundreds of seeds in that. See, look at that. Look at how many millions of seeds there are on that one plant.
Yeah.
That's called epazote. That's a Mexican herb. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it really's got kind of a neat smell to it.
Epazote.
Smell.
Oh, that's amazing. Smells wonderful.
Well, you can imagine, getting the right herb and veggie thing going on. How, you just pump your physical thing into that's Mastro, Portulaca. Like I say, you can see how you can really pump your physical thing into a state when when your spirit goes along for the ride, and the meet on the other side of the tunnel. It's got to be pretty intense. So it's like the
In the ice cream truck on the outside.
There you go. This is the real ice cream truck in here. So the whole thing is like a reservoir. It's like all full of water. See, this is where the water is being released by the polar caps and the global temperatures going up, and a lot of South Sea islands going underwater and all that. The secret is to make these mounds all over the place, desalinize the ocean water, pump the water into the mounds, and make these living, feeding things. You see, to keep a lot of people busy and really get them into the super alpha state. But look at the moss and stuff starting to grow in there. See, when the rain hits this thing, it turns like a velvet mossy. It's been a long time since we've really gotten much rain. So if it really rains, the whole background turns into moss.
Wow.
It would be neat to have Mick Jagger rolling down the hill with Kate Moss. Rolling Stone gathering moss.
That's funny. That's very funny.
Well, I think it was so.
I rarely laugh at jokes, but that's a real funny.
That's a knee slapper, yeah.
Yes.
The punchline was good, huh?
Yep.
But again, see,
look at the color.
The eggplant.
And
yeah.
this, and that.
Oh man, the squash is so good. It's like you can't believe how mixing the crookneck squash and the golden zucchini and the scallop kind together. I had some squash beads back in the summer.
Oh, wow.
Killer. But see the eggplant again. It's like how they love it. Boy, like he was kind of planted late, but see what.
Are they soft? Are they ready? I mean,
Let's see. What's one there? I guess maybe the chickens. No, there's one there. It's a little different variety.
Beautiful.
So you can see how the whole thing is just really pumps up the kabasha squash. Those are kind of cool.
Is it ready?
You want to try one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah. What kind of squash is that?
Kabasha, I think it's like you bake this kind. It's like winter squash. But it's pretty tasty. Do it like with some butter and honey, or butter and a little brown sugar. It's really a super treat. It'll really get you going.
Kabasha squash.
piece and stick it in the ground. So it seems like you gotta get yourself ready to get into doing some serious gardening yourself, to where when you start surrounding yourself with all these beautiful plants, you really get the feelings, you know, where you just radiate all this good positive energy. Like say you grab onto all the ladies who are out there that are searching and get them to be club members, and just realize that the more we all put together, the better, you know, the better the world is going to be. See these things like suckers everywhere. See how all you just pinch off that much and stick it in a pot.
Wow.
Or put it in water even, and they get right off.
Look at that chicken.
It's pretty, eh? Oh, look, looks more like a pheasant, eh? He's hatched here.
That's amazing. The sunlight on him. Looks like a rainbow.
Iridescent. Yeah, see this?
Beautiful chicken.
See this scallop squash there? Let's see, here, Lee, can you, want to hold that?
Sure.
You want to take some tomatillos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make a good little meal tonight. Come back, get some more of those mustards, chop them up. Get some of that Swiss chard, chop it up. Don't cook it. Eat it raw. That's how you get all your nutrients.
This guy's didn't get very big. Let me see if there's some
Kind of hard discipline out here.
Let me go back up and see if there's some better ones up here.
She's carrying her with greens. She's gonna give that to a rabbit. That's bigger than your rabbit.
Wow.
That leaf.
I know. Wow.
Cute, huh?
Tomatillos.
Nice. Look at these little eggplants.
Yeah, the plant world's a real trip.
Look at these. Aren't those amazing?
What kind of plant is that?
That's a marigold that turned into a monster.
Oh my goodness.
That's the biggest, tallest
I've never seen a marigold that big, Tim.
Let's see. Nice one.
Wow.
That's right. What you got there?
Tomatillo.
Yep. This is a vegetarian's dream. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Wow.
Let's see, maybe I can find a container here. Got the little hustle. There's some more down here. Yeah, let me fill you up.
What an amazing, tasty yard you have.
Just thinking if
Tim's got the greatest laugh.
you know, if things were really cultivated, it's like, you know, I've just been kind of fooling around with it, you know, with some serious input. It could really be the most mind-boggling thing that's ever hit planet Earth.
Your authenticity. We're going back this way?
Yeah, I guess we might as well go back that way. Yeah, when these lilies were in their prime, see the
Wow, that is an amazingly fragrant.
color on the leaves of the canvas.
Oh.
Yeah, these guys here when they're in their prime, it's like, in the morning sun, it's like just a knockout. I mean, really. Oh, this is like baby silk floss tree. The guys over there, see how pretty they are from this angle here? Look at the pink flowers on those guys. See that one branch that's broken off there? Got so many flowers, it broke itself off the flowers.
Beautiful.
They got that big and they were still tender. Really...
Look at those squash. Okay. Oh, sorry.
No problem. That mustard green's too much, huh?
It could feed me for a week.
Woo! I had to be like smooth. Oh my. My agility point just went up. Damn.
I'll get there. Just got this guy. I can make it this way. You want to go off and see a couple things and go down some music and get things on with it, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think, Brother Lee? Did we do it?
Thrown our genetic structure out of sync, okay, which also contributes to the lack of logical thinking, you know. And with the children, if you will, they have what you call programs already set up for the problems that they kind of design for them to acquire through a short period of time.
So you can get a certain amount of them in jail and a certain amount of them to break down physically and become dependent on the drug remedy rather than the real natural remedy, the one that really works, rather than they don't really want to cure the problem, they want to treat the problem.
Right.
Because it makes more money to treat it than it does to cure it. If you cure it, it's like, then they go away and don't give you the money. But if you sustain it and don't get rid of it, but you make people think that maybe they're able to live with it, then they'll keep coming back.
Exactly.
But that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about loving one another and treating people as brothers and sisters rather than just a cash cow that's coming into you that you can milk for the material stuff that becomes an anchor around your neck that pulls you into the pit at the end of the line.
Yeah.
So it's like, people just have to realize that this one's just temporary, that, it's over with pretty fast, and the next one might be forever.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's like, well, if we make this one the way it's supposed to be, then the forever could be just really great, because, things are just out of sync here, that's all.
Pretty much. And this is, I believe, the ground zero right here. This is the beginning part. Dust thou art, dust thou returnest, so to speak. And genetically speaking, when it comes down to what we ingest, these natural foods, fruits, vegetables, and the like, are more compatible with our organs. And we're allowed, especially our inner organs and our blood system, is allowed to do what it was designed. Our body is designed to heal itself.
Well, the faith
right?
mechanism, see, if you believe, that's going to set things in motion. But see, the thing is, you need to reinforce it with the living stuff, because, okay, the pile has got the elements that our bodies need, and the plants are the way of tapping into those elements to where it puts it in a form that we can eat or ingest, and it gives us pleasure to do that, and at the same time, it gives our bodies the building blocks that they need to heal themselves.
Well, why do you think I would say, I'm not sure exactly what company or what organization did this, but the farmers that provide the produce to the masses can only get their seed from the, I don't know who it could be. It's a governmental
well, the big seed
organization.
companies want to control it because it's like that's by using
they're engineered seeds,
hybrid
right?
seeds that don't reproduce. You got to come back and lay your money down, like we were saying. It's like the idea is to get people under control, where they have to keep. It's like the drug dealer knowing that you're going to come back for your drugs. It's like, if the seeds don't make seed of their kind, then you're going to have to go back and buy more seed from the seed man. See?
Yeah.
But by using the stuff that reproduces itself in the same way, you're free from that, where the man doesn't have control over you, and they don't. They kind of like to have their hooks in you. Well, it's all about worshiping the money. See, it's like when the money becomes more important than God, you'll do things to your brothers and sisters that you know you wouldn't like done unto you just because the money's good. And that's not the way it's supposed to be, because the people that get it done unto them, they don't like it, and you're making inharmonious vibrations go out that sooner or later are going to come back one way or another. That whatever you sow, you're going to reap. So if you sow mustard, you're going to get mustard. And when you put those little buds in there, doesn't that just whack it home?
Yep.
And lights up your nostrils, everything just kind of glows.
See, that's when the controversy comes in, or according to them, it becomes controversy.
Well, that's what it takes to make. See, without a little controversy, the man just drives by and doesn't pay any attention to it. Without something going to draw them in, they can kind of shine this thing on forever.
I don't understand though how someone joins the man, that group.
It's through action in which you advocate, I would say, because it's not anything particular that says you belong to such and such of.
Well, the government
but you have a system that upholds it and also passes laws, and they also, intricately make a system through commercialism support their lifestyle while the demise of the lower and little people continue to take place.
Well, so what's happened is it's become them and us. It's supposed to be just us, but it's become the government is above the people, especially the little people, where it wants to control them rather than have the people control the government the way it's supposed to be. So it's like the power that the government has now. Look at how much they spend on, what, $350 billion on defense. That people love this throughout the world, and we took those $350 billion and spent it on our own kids here, and spent it on making the people of the world really happy, rather than everybody stand there with a gun saying one false move and we'll blow you away. It seems like, if somebody's forcing you to do something, sooner or later, when their back's turned, you're going to get them, right? But if somebody's showing you something that you can do that makes your life better and makes you happy, you're going to look at that person as being your friend and your brother, right?
So it's about exposing the facts.
Well, the truth is the truth. The truth will set you free. The lie will keep you in bondage, man. These poor kids across the street are so enslaved by the jip jive and the other stuff that they don't even realize they're like little puppets just acting out stuff that's not good. Need to get them while they're still young and show them where the real power is at. See, The gang power is just trash. It's just acting like fools. And that makes people around you unhappy that, you know, you're trying to fool the people around you, so the people around you, if they're smart enough to see it, then they don't like it because it's not supposed to be that way. Because if we all work together for a team, it can be great for everybody. But you see how the devil uses racism and all these religious barriers and all this other stuff to keep everybody separated.
Right.
They're driving wedges in now, man, just kind of dividing the thing more and more. What does it say? In the Bible, it says, a house or a nation divided cannot stand, and, you know, united we stand, divided we fall. It's all, it all ties together. That people are losing the unity. There's more and more things to fight over, and more people are just, you know, disliking one another over stupid stuff that really doesn't mean that much. But if we get the kids and have them focus on the real problem and realize that they got the power to make the problem go away and make it to where you know, if we reinvest all the money that's out there in the right way, there's plenty enough to make everything work the way it's supposed to. It's just being mismanaged. We're going about it in the wrong way. We're just trying to make people do stuff rather than to con them into make them think that they're really enjoying what they're doing, like the chickens. You know, I can con them into thinking they're having the best time that any chicken ever imagined because it seems like they really are. Well, if you know how to do it, you grow all this stuff that they like, and keep them busy with that, and you hide the stuff that you want to grow in the center of it, and they just, you know, like the big mustard green, they never even saw it. And look at how big that thing turned out to be. It's going to, I bet it makes 10,000 seeds at least. Wow. So, you know, if one plant makes 10,000, and then the 10,000 make 10,000, how many times can you do the 10,000 before it just boggles everything down? So the farther the telescope's out into space, the more area you got to work with. No, well. And the bigger the power gets, the more material it can eat, and the faster it consumes it.
Wow.
So because the bigger it is, the more up goes away from down, the more material it takes to cover the whole area with, say, a ½ inch or a ¼ inch. It's like the bigger it gets, the more material it takes to make that uniform coating. And the faster it eats it, because it becomes more bioactive and hungrier all the time, where it's just, you know, it's gonna eat it one way or another. That's why I call it the choo-choo. It's always chewing. Choo 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 woo woo coo 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 coo. So, you know, if we present it in the right way, the kids are gonna get off on it big time. But Pokemon just doesn't hit the spot. Right? And B is the second letter too. Bliss. B for bliss. So it's just a matter now of packaging it right?
That's right.
If you know how to tweak the computer, like I say, if we, you know, if you embellish what you just saw just a little bit, how heavy could it get? You know, the idea is to make like a volcano, like it makes like a cone-shaped thing. Think of like the spiral pathway going around, like the threads on a screw, that the thing just kind of screws itself up into space.
Wow.
So, the more material the volcano gets, the bigger the cone gets, right?
Yeah.
How much material, like I said, you know, if a mulberry tree can be propagated, like if one mulberry makes like 500 seeds and there's 500,000 mulberries on the tree, and you can break out the branches too.
Wow.
You know, how long does it take for you to go, oh my God, we've got a monster here? Well, hey, look at that thing. Look at that one tree just created a whole bunch of wood, right? And leaves, and, you know, just think how much material it's made in its lifetime already.
Which one?
The mulberry right behind you. You see the berries are really super sweet, and it's like in the summertime, if you don't trim it, it's like it's, you know, no sunlight penetrates. It's like pure shade. So it makes like a little oasis back here, to where it can really be cool. So, well, we're on the right track. We just got to all believe now that God is with us, and that's that. Emmanuel is the name of the hill, and that's what it translates to. God is with us. So you can imagine me doing the the William, as Talker the Stranger Ranger during the William Tell from the Hell. Dun 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 do 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 dun 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 do do do. To where if you cross the doo-doos and the dun-duns at the right time, it's really stimulating for the mind.
Wow.
Well, see, so many good things rhyme with hell, too. So it's time to tell Sarah Purcell, Rosie O'Donnell, Nancy O'Dell, and don't forget to have Faith Hill bring Vince Gill and Barbara Louise and Arlene Mandrell, and they can have Lauren Hill tell Denzel and Will to bring Montel, and Will make everybody that's been ill well, and it's time to sell a piece of the hell. Because the hell will most definitely fulfill. Dun 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 dun. Right? He likes it, see? Get that quick, get it, capture that. Rally stick, rally stick. He's having a rally. Capture that rally.
Oh, yeah, like in the game.
Well, it's the real game.
Yeah.
The train is the name of the game. So the main reason I came and my main claim to fame is that I really aimed to reign and put a little doo-doo back in the game. Well, see, by using the poo-poo and the doo-doo and the caca and all the other kind of funny things that you know, it's like, it definitely makes you laugh, and it's like the more we get them all laughing, the more money they'll cough up. And by channeling the money into the right things, just think of all of a sudden the living cathedrals breaking out on top of the mounds. It's like the geodesic dome and the pyramid shape. Just think how trippy a pyramid would be with the light coming through all sides.
Wow.
Because the pyramid generates an energy field all by itself. So by having you felt the energy inside the greenhouse.
Right.
By having the whole thing computerized to where the Mister system is perfect, to where you have it voice activated. You say, let there be rain, and the rain comes, and the lights go on, and the thunder goes off, and you got the joysticks going like this, and the whole thing takes off and flies off into space, and everybody just goes, hallelujah, brother. Right? Why not, huh? Wouldn't that be a good way to have it end? Like, remember E.T., they go off pedaling up, take the wheelbarrow and just wheel off into heaven.
There you go.
You know, if you stand at the bottom of the pile and look up, it looks like it goes on forever. So it could, you know, at that angle, if it kept on going, it'd be over the mountains by the time it got to the existing mountains.
Wow.
So we just got to find the right place. There's other countries that would just embrace it with open arms. It's like
Mexico.
Well, big time. Well, teach them look how many poor Mexican kids out there have no future. The secret is to empower them and send them back to Mexico as the saviors, and show the people down there how, like with the tropical thing going on already, man. It's like it could be so intense right away that,
Wow.
It makes you wonder why they haven't been doing it all along.
They don't want it to happen.
Well, because people get diverted on the stuff and the power trip and the killing and the carrying on and all the other stuff that goes along with being diverted from the real mission. The mission is to force the bad guy into submission. So ever since I had the vision that said my mission was to form the coalition for the abolition of nuclear fission, in addition to wipe out malnutrition, that put me under a great deal of suspicion. So that's why I decided to make the transition and become the politician. So my presidential platform is pretty hard to beat. See, my main and number one intent as your president will be to positively prevent any further mismanagement of the environment and the government, and to represent the most diligent, eloquent gent that's ever been sent, and to help those who've been disobedient to repent before the time is all spent. And with your consent, I would like to present my number two intent. You know what that is? To invent the tournament of excrement. That's the game called the Twain. All right, beam me up, Potty.
Beam me up, Potty.
Yeah, well, Scotty ain't shit. So I'm Captain Berserk, he said with a smirk. I know we can make it work, as he drove away in his brand new Merc. And scared off the drug company called Merc. Oh. see, with the mustard green, you don't need Viagra, man. That stuff will just straighten your circulation system right out.
Look at that stuff.
I mean, there's some power in the.
It's deep in there. You can't buy this at the store, sir.
Well, not the same kind of stuff. See, like the
That's
designer.
the NPK they have in there.
The designer dirt now thing is now like a $500 million a year industry. So it's like it's growing faster and faster because more of the yuppies now, they got their little potted plants and they want all this growth thing happening. So
What do you mean though? I mean, like, what are they doing with the soil now with the chemicals? Are they?
Well,
to make it.
Everybody's got their own recipe. Like some people do it the natural way. Some people got the test tube out. With the, you can make. It's like, for example, like you get your meth and you take a couple of good hits on the pipe where you feel like God, and you just run in for about 18 hours, and then you fall on your face and you go, oh my God, you're just bent out of shape and really bad. It's like the same thing with the plants. It's like, what we were talking about doing the steroids. You get all this big Arnold look to you and everything, but your liver's gone, your kidneys don't work anymore, and the heart is not. So it only lasts for a little while. But the mustard greens and that stuff, see, like the steroids supposedly artificially nitrogenate your system. So the greens have got the natural nitro in that you're putting in a way that there's no payback for it. So your system assimilates it, and it gives you the benefit without the payback. It's like, for example, like you can chew on sugar cane all the time and it won't hurt you, but if you keep eating lots of refined sugar, you're going to get trouble. Or like the Indians in Peru, they chew on the coca leaves all the time and they just kind of buzz around and it doesn't really affect them too much. But when you make up a powder and do lots of that, it gets in a form that your body can't handle and you just burn out. Same way with the steroids. It's like the spinach and all that stuff, it's like it really has the poop-eye effect. I'm Dundun the doo-doo man, I'm Dundun the doo-doo man, I play with my doo-doo, that's all that I do. I'm Dundun the doo-doo man, poop-poop. So see, like, making little catchy things like that, they're all tied together. Kids have already heard that over and over again, where it's like, it's like, you're just kind of catching them at a little different, you're taking them to a little different level that when they start realizing that their future does get better by investing in this, they'll start buying this stuff right away, I'm sure. And it's not a ripoff, see, because we double your money back guarantee you, it is the panacea.
Tim, it's amazing to me that you're not a world hero right now at age 60.
Well, they're afraid
it doesn't seem possible.
Well, because it wasn't, the devil wouldn't allow it to happen, and God allowed him to not let it happen, but now all of a sudden, many people are converging to see that it has to happen, and it should have happened a long time ago, and it's like, see, like this is the potty twaining of the world, see, it's like, you're feeling two emotions now, so you're blissed and pissed, right, so now you start to do the twist, and shake your fist in the mist. Because the point is always missed. See, the idea is to get angry enough to make it happen, but use the anger in a positive way to where we get something out there that instead of beating them up and kicking them like Chuck Norris and Walker the Texas Ranger, like I say, we talk to the problem realizes that it is the problem, it fesses up to it, and quits being the problem. Because it sees that when it's not being the problem, everybody likes it, and it doesn't have to be something that when you're not doing right, you can't really be happy. A lot of these youngsters, they're doing stuff that, doesn't make them happy. It gives them a little rush for a little while, but after it's over, they're not really happy. Well, we can give them the real happiness, the real joy. The pile is the toy. So, see, that's why I had to be so sad ever since I was just a wee tad of a lad, so that I could be the rad dad that makes them really say, egad.
Wow.
It's like a new fad.
Wow.
So see how the whole thing, if I tie it together with the right words at the right time, it's going to be magical to where people just, get them to, like, say, they're laughing so hard that they go down on the floor, and, you know, like Benny Hinn touches them, and they fall over, and they flail, and give them the wallet, and we do it, you don't even have to touch them, just walk by and just lay a little bit of the stuff on them to where they just clunk. Hey, it works, right? It's so much better to do it that way because, you know, it really gives you something that you can believe in, that you know is real, that there's no doubt where it has to be coming from.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, if you search over and over again, you'll find what I'm saying is the same thing over and over again in a different way that touches your intellectual mechanism and makes you realize that I've thought this thing out over and over again, and it all takes you to the same place, right?
Yes.
And that's the place where we all know we really want to go because it's safe there.
Yes. It's remarkably consistent.
That's the center of your own being. See, it's like that's, you know it's real because
there's no fear there.
Right. It's faith. Well, see, the power is the 4 dimensions of the spirit. It's like faith, hope, grace, and Ruth. You know, it's like, you know, I was talking about the candy bar a while ago.
Yeah.
That's, instead of Baby Ruth, that's Mama Ruth. And the lady that owned the house next door, her name was Ruth. So it's a monument for Ruth. The truth, the uncouth truth phone booth, you know, on the super sleuth. That's why it's sweeter than vermouth.
Isn't it amazing?
like the fountain. Well, it is the real fountain of youth. You know, Ponce de Leon was searching in Florida for the fountain of youth. Well, this is the real. This is better than Duluth. So, you know, it's just like I say, it just goes around and says the same thing over and over. It's like it's like the loop going around, the poop loop. Better than shooting a hoop. So I think we got a winner. We just have to just work on getting the presentation down and getting it on things that could be marketed. That's the key to get people to realize that this is something that if they invest in it, that it definitely it chases the boogeyman away. It makes him to where he has to finally give it up and realize that, you know, his time has run out.
What's more enjoyable?
Well, it's much more enjoyable. It's much better to be happy than be terrified, right?
Yes. What a concept.
Well, see, the Bush plan is to, you know, you fight terror with terror. What do you get when you make more terror? More terror. It's like they're saying that if you keep pouring more gasoline on the fire, eventually the fire is going to go out. Well, maybe so, but that's not the right way for it to go out. It's like that's I think a total meltdown, isn't it? You know, it's like you put the water on the fire. Isn't that better? So that's why I fed her the fodder and brought her the water, and she started going up and down like a giant teeter-totter, and the friction got her hotter and hotter, and then I ran inside and watched old Welcome Back Cotter and read my Harry Potter, and when I came back out, the thing was so hot you could even solder, and it was the real blotter. You know how the blotter soaks up the water? So like I was saying, we take the water from the ocean, make these piles of power, P-O-O-P, pile of omnipotent power all over the world.
The grand sponge.
So the whole thing, it generates it can generate electricity, we can generate goodwill, we can generate food with immunity, we can generate a whole race of human beings that doesn't have to go to the slammer. They don't need to go through that trip because they're smart enough to see that that's just a waste of time. That why should we have to have people with guns standing guarding a hotel full of fools that just got sucked into an evil system that is designed to suck them right in. That's why having the guy Hoover, you know, the vacuum cleaner Hoover, it's like he can realize that the sucker deal is perfect for him. So 60 Minutes is gonna, one way or another, they're gonna have to have it because Viacom is that's MTV, and it's like they own Channel 2 and Channel 9 now, so it's all number twoing more and more, to where the whole thing just makes more and more sense. So just have to present it right now, and it's like you taking it to Texas is going to be great.
Yeah. I would like
We're
that.
copying it today.
I would like that
Well,
before I go.
We'll take the camera down to Dr. Music so we can.
Oh, perfect.
We can make a VH. You got a VHS player?
Yeah.
You don't have an 8mm, Polly?
I don't.
Okay, we can make a copy. You can copy it on VHS, and you can take that and take a copy of some other stuff that's down there, or you can check out the Halloween house and get a real a real charge on the way out. Let's go dun 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 dun. See the dun dun again? Dun 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 dun. I like the bonanza. Dun 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 dun. Remember Haas?
Yeah.
This is the real Haas here, but this is came right out of the house. Yeah. It came to Earth as a cosmic ray, and then it lived in the Odhe, and then it was consumed by the dark horse they call the Bay, and then I hauled it away the very next day and turned it into the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. It'll take you way beyond the Milky Way to a place where there's never a gray day, even in the month of May. Hey, 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 you better get on board without delay. You don't mind having to pay because it's going to take you all the way, baby.
Baby.
Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. That's the old train song. We turned it into the Twain song.
Twain.
Well, the Twain is like a train and a plane together. So it doesn't need tracks, and it it stays on the ground, but it flies at the same time. Think about it. Remember when we were standing on the pile, how much further out into space we were projected?
We really never went anywhere.
The Hope Scope.
Yeah.
And you can't believe what kind of cantaloupe you can grow on the scope too. And the honeydew. We call them honey-doo-doo. They're double sweet. Well, it's funny how it's called a pun from Dundun. So you can see how the whole thing, it just goes round and round and round. It's so deep now that, just can't. We might hurt ourselves if we keep going. So should we roll down the?
Sure.
Roll it up and head on down the road.
So this guy uses some of the moat from your place
Oh,
too?
yeah, he's been doing it quite a while now.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll change out these batteries in about 2 bars. 2 bars out of 3.
Okay. Let's go down the driveway.
Wow, look at the spider. Look
It's
at
got a flag.
this.
See the flags? It's got one on it.
Oh yeah, we see a lot of those at our place.
That's a good one there.
We see a lot of those at our place.
Oh my gosh.
Where'd he go?
You've got to smell this, Lee.
Okay.
This is fragrant.
We find this spider.
The glow on this one.
I'm looking past it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, gorgeous. What are those called? These zinnias.
Which one you want me to smell?
In the middle. Oh, you've got to smell this one over here. Right here.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is off the chain.
It smells so nice. They're gorgeous. They're healthy. Look at the color on this, Lee.
That's pretty good, huh?
This is exquisite. Look at the color. The yellow and the peach.
In the springtime, the rose fleas come and tell him that he's going to be arrested for having too much color. Really, it's pretty intense.
Let me check your microphone. I want to make sure that everything's good. Okay. Good. Excellent. Oh, look how amazing
Look how big
this looks. This is natural. This is true nature of the plant.
Two different
The
colors.
blueprint. That plant's blueprint, because it's vibrant and full of energy, it can
Do what it
reach
wants
its
to do.
potential, its greater potential.
Those are the Asian poppies. They look like opium poppies. They like the flowers like the big. Really neat.
Smells
Oh,
good.
these are beautiful. These pansies.
It's just kind of going through the transition from
Look
from
at
summer to
that.
winter stuff. So it's like a few months ago, this whole thing in here was just blazing with color.
Beautiful. That's gorgeous.
Pretty, huh?
It's like peppermint. Peppermint candy ice cream.
That's a dynamic duo there.
Look at this lavender. It's very sweet. Smell it. You won't believe it. Isn't that sweet? Look at this.
No more tape on this one.
No more tape?
Oh, out of tape?
I think so.